This has been Brode, and you're watching Born to be Wild.
Greeting, traveler.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Born to be Wild, a Wild exclusive Hearthstone podcast where we have fun hanging out with friends, talking about the Wild format of Hearthstone, and spotlighting members of the Wild community. I'm your host, as always, Nate Wolf. It's very good to be back. Hopefully, we have all of our internet connectivity issues straightened out this week. In the event you guys are watching live, if the stream drops, don't worry about it. The recording, the audio and the video will be fine. So we're good on that end. Anyways, I'm joined as always by two of my favorite people. So Mike Lowe, welcome back to the show. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you doing tonight?
Good. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. And Hydra, welcome back.
Hey, everybody. Nice to see everybody. Stoked for the show.
Yeah, me too. I'm really excited for tonight. And Mike, if you would do the honors, we've got a really special guest joining us tonight.
Yeah, special guest tonight, joining us all the way from the UK. Guest tonight is a 11-star bonus player. Hydra, do you have 11 stars bonus?
No, I do not.
Nate, do you have 11-star?
10-star gamer over here.
I'm a 10-star too. So everything from this point forward, pretty much is going to be led by our guest tonight and experience. Also,
we bow down.
dubbed,
You guys have more fun than I do.
we have more fun. Exactly. Queen of the Kingsbane.
That's
guest
right.
tonight. Smudge HS, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Yay.
Yeah, absolutely. We're very I'm so excited to have you on the show, and I want to say right off the bat, like, thank you so much coming all the way from UK. I don't know if whoever's watching live or whoever's listening to this after the fact, it's currently 2:00 in the morning where she's at right now, and she was gracious enough to work us into her schedule. We offered to kind of
Oh my goodness.
to reschedule the show around it, and she said nope, just do it normal time. And
But you know, it's 10 hours, right? It's a 10-hour show.
Yeah, I got in and drink. It's all good.
That's the reputation. Holy crap.
Yeah, card reveal show over here.
Oh man, yeah. No, troopers. Imic watches the show live every week, and it starts for him at 3:00 in the morning. So
Shut
Oh,
up.
I
that's
don't know
right.
how you guys do it, but I'm impressed. I'm a night owl myself, but still, that's some serious dedication. So
Yeah, serious props on starting at 2 a.m.
Well, thanks.
So
What can I say?
what's the preparation? Do you do like a nap during the day?
Yeah, I definitely did. I had a nap at about. I went to bed at like 6 p.m. I was like, if I sleep now, then I'll have enough time to wake up in time for 2 a.m. So yeah, I went to bed.
oh, that's
kind
fine.
of
I'm so sorry. Your
after
sleep,
work,
your
and
sleep
then
schedule's
came
gonna
back up.
be messed up all weekend.
It's all right. It's the weekend. I've got a few days to work it back out.
Nice.
What kind
So-
of beverage do you have there?
Yeah.
So it's this weird. You're gonna be. So it's this weird stuff. It's this non-alcoholic thing called the Livener, and it is watermelon, pomegranate, molasses, hibiscus, guava leaf, schisandra berry, ginseng, and green tea, and 50 mils is equivalent to a cup of coffee.
Can I see that?
I'm
50
drinking a
mils,
lot
one cup of
it.
coffee.
3 Spirit. Is that from like,
So-
is that specific to your country? I've never seen
Yeah,
that.
I mean, I think it's quite new in the UK. It's like they make a range of non-alcoholic spirits
Non-alcoholic spirits.
that have all different kind of properties. So this one, it's got some sort of chili or something in it because it properly burns as well.
Burns.
So it gives you that real alcohol burn. But yeah, that's what I'm drinking. Oh, and a bit of lemonade. Yeah.
With all the energy. Well, I guess you prepared today, didn't you?
That sounds pretty
Yeah.
good, actually.
It's It's yummy. It's really good. Yeah, would
So-
recommend. I used to be, well, I mean, I say I used to, like it's not about 4 days ago, but I used to be somebody who drank a lot of Red Bulls, and now this is a kind of more natural alternative that's kind of less sugary. So that's what I'm going for. I'm hoping that it's going to keep me level.
Yeah, it's better than pounding. Yeah. So there are a lot of people here who do know who you are. For those who don't, can you explain how you got into the game, how you chose your username, all that fun stuff?
So
Pull back the curtain a little bit.
So my username is my nickname in real life, and Smudge came from the fact that I used to be a kind of Avril Lavigne style emo, and I had eyeliner down here.
Ah, that
And
makes
I just
sense.
go around,
the smoky
yeah, like
eyes.
just eyeliner everywhere. I'd draw it on. People would be like, "How do you do that?" I'm like, "You just draw it on, and then you just go like that, and then just do that, and then it
smudge
just
it.
comes out like this." Yeah, exactly, and that's how I got the nickname Smudge.
That's hilarious.
That's so good. All right.
In terms of
That's
how I
awesome.
started Hearthstone, so I started in June 14, and it was because I was at uni, and I think it was when it had recently kind of come out of beta, and a couple of my friends were playing it. Some of the guys on the course, because I did physics, it was all men on the course, and I was trying to make friends, so I thought, I've heard people talking about Hearthstone, I'm going to go and learn Hearthstone. So I went, tried to learn it, realised that you needed lots of cards, dropped about 150 quid on the game, got to a point where I was confident enough to tell people that I played it, like a month later. And then by that point, they were all like, "Oh yeah, we only played that for a week."
Oh, what?
After.
So I didn't have any friends who played it, but I'd already
Damn.
kind of made the investment at this point. So I was like, "Well, I should carry on then." And
That's
yeah,
rough.
I've been playing ever since. And yeah, started playing kind of local little tournaments and things. At some point, back before I got a proper job, I did things like I did the World Esport Games, I did the Western Europe Finals, and I did the UK Nationals. I got a
Wow.
lovely email from Blizzard saying, "Congratulations, Smudge, you're one of the best players in the UK." And I was like, I know. It's nice to have it in writing.
That's amazing.
That's confirmation. That's cool.
Well, we're
Oh.
glad you didn't quit when your friends did.
Yeah, so I've just been kind of plodding along since then, really. And then I actually got into Wild because I was doing the UK Nationals. So when they were doing the qualifiers for them, and I don't know whether you had anything similar in NA, it was based on your HCT points. So I was playing standard, and I was camping. I was trying to camp. I'd get to like top 200, and I'd sit there because I figured I probably only needed to make top 500 to top 1,000 each month to just make sure that I was in the top 60. I think it's the top 60 in the country that got through. And I figured if I just do this every month, it'll be fine. And so I'd get to top 200, and then I was a Hearthstone addict, so I wanted to play something. So I figured I'd never disenchanted any of my wild cards. I started playing, and the first month I came in on like the last day of the season, and I came in at like 1,300. I was like, yeah. And then the
Wow.
next month, I came in rank 35, and I was like, oh, even
Wow.
better. And then by the end of the month, I was like rank 2, and I was like, well, this is quite satisfying actually. I'm getting pretty good results.
Do you remember what
So-
you were deck you were playing?
Even Shaman.
Ah, yes.
Mm.
Yeah, that'll do it, especially then.
Never really goes out of fashion, does it?
Not
No.
really.
With Flame Tongue, Totem,
Oh.
Oh, nice.
Pre-nerf.
Yeah,
That's
pour one
good.
out. Pour one out for our dearly departed friend there.
And then I kind of moved on to Odd Rogue, and I really liked that for a bit. And then my favorite deck for a while was Giants Warlock.
Oh, how could we forget?
Oh,
Remember
yeah.
that? Yeah, yes.
The Naga Sea Witch, yes.
Yes. And then pretty much I didn't play Kingsbane at all before the Leeching Poison nerf. I started after that. Basically, as soon as it got nerfed, I went, oh, this looks like a fun deck. It's no longer cool, so I'll give it a go. And then I basically haven't stopped playing that deck ever since. I played it through like every meta, whether it's been rubbish or good. I've always managed to get legend with it.
That's awesome. That's so.
Sign-
that's great.
Sign of a true legend.
That's true.
So yeah, I've got coming up on 15,000 wins, I think now.
Holy crap!
Last day.
Oh, wow.
That's
Not on Rogue.
Oh,
Rogue.
God, I thought you were talking about Rogue.
No,
Okay.
sorry, total. And then
Even so,
and then
Still, yeah. That's more than me. I think I'm
No.
at 11, maybe right around there.
I'm on about 3,700 Rogue wins, I think.
Wow, very
That's
cool.
awesome.
I just hit
Still a fair
800.
few. 800.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
The funny thing is that like a couple of years ago, it must have been probably about 2 years ago, because that's when I kind of started playing it, 2.5 years, something like that. I had something like 80 Rogue wins. I had like never played Rogue. I sent out distress call on Twitter going, I feel like I should have learned how to play Rogue at this point. Does anyone know how to play Rogue? It seems quite hard. You know the GM Casey?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, I'll show you how to play Rogue. And so
Okay.
I got a load of lessons from him.
Wow, very cool.
Wow.
And he started me off on my journey. Of course, it was standard then at the time. I was playing
That's
Miracle
all it
Rogue
takes.
and Standard, Classic.
Wow, to get lessons from Casey, Miracle Rogue would be amazing because that deck is intimidating to play.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It was really good. And then I've just kind of been in love with Rogue ever since. So yeah, that's pretty much my Rogue story.
So when your friends got you into Hearthstone, had you played Blizzard games before?
No, it was my first one. But since that, I've pretty much played all of them apart from StarCraft at some point. I've really enjoyed all of them.
Oh, you like Heroes of the Storm?
Yeah, I do. Like, I'm rubbish at
Alright.
it. Like, I'm really, really bad. Like, I will run straight into a turret and be like, oh, whoops. But I do really enjoy it. Like, I've played a fair amount. I've definitely spent more on skins than I should. But
Oh,
Yeah, that game's fun. I love that game. It's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
they get you that way.
I feel like whenever I mention that I like it, people are like, oh, we should play together. And then they don't ask me back.
Well, that's what I've played with Blue Train a couple of times, who's a lot better at the game, and I've done the same thing where if they've got, like, I used to play everything on this old laptop and it just wouldn't run. It wasn't good enough to run the game. Like, I could run it, but it lagged really bad. And then I got this new beefy computer and it runs great, and like, so I'm like, oh, cool, I can play Heroes of the Storm. And I logged in and they're like, welcome back. Here's this bundle where you can get 1 million skins for $10. And so I bought some, even though I really shouldn't, and played the game. And I agreed, like, I'm pure trash at the game. It's very fun. I'm not good at it at all and have no idea what I'm doing, but it's gorgeous and it's fun. So.
And it's like the least commitment kind of level MOBA you
Yeah.
can get, really. Your games take like 15 minutes.
That's pretty cool.
I will say it's fun to see all the different Blizzard characters in that kind of 3D style and get to see them in the different skins and everything. Initially, like, I had played it enough to unlock the card back and then stopped for a long time, but
I wonder if the game has changed. See, I haven't actually played that game since beta, so I've got no idea. But I got the cool little beta avatar thing.
oh, that's
so
cool.
I can show that off,
Wait.
even though I suck.
Ragnaros is in it. I want to play
Oh,
it
yeah.
now. All right, I am.
Ragnaros, Rexar.
We might
Uther.
have to make a channel in the Discord for heroes.
There is one. Wait, okay.
Oh, there is?
After the show, I want to play some Heroes of the Storm. I think.
I'm in.
Yeah,
Yo,
forget the co-op.
Save me a seat.
the embarrassing thing about Heroes is that I started playing it not because of the card back or anything, but because it was a new game. And I was like, oh yeah, there's a new game coming out.
Yep.
You know, I'm
Oh, we
going
do have-
straight in on the beta. If I just play this all the time, maybe I could be the best in the world at it. And then, of course, I'd never played a MOBA before, so I started and was immediately awful. Everyone else was immediately way better than me. And then even like years later, I'd invite people who'd never played the game before, and they'd go, "Come on, Chloe, stop messing around."
It's because they probably all came from Dota.
I genuinely thought, oh, I'll start this new game because it's new, so you're going to be brilliant at it.
No, that's funny. No, because I did the same thing when it first came out. Oh, this is cool. It's a top-down overview thing. I'm really good at Diablo. Like this, maybe I'll be good at this thing. And it was just, I don't know, terrible at it, right? And like, I'm never playing this again. But it's so fun. So
It's fun with friends.
yes.
Otherwise, I'm going to be playing against those expert AIs.
Yeah.
I don't understand the fundamentals of it, but I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like Battlegrounds for me. Like, I'm not good at it, but it's really fun.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I've been playing a fair bit of Battlegrounds lately just because it's there.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I guess it's like the only time I ever really play it is if maybe I've hit like a rank floor and I'm just sort of done and I want to play Hearthstone, but I want to do something else. So I'll pop in, but I'm still, since they changed the new ranking system, I'm still sitting at 0. So.
Oh yeah, I haven't played it since they swapped.
I played
You
one
get,
game and I got
rank
last.
5, you get plus 300 points.
I still haven't played it.
That's okay. We're not a BG's podcast.
No.
Okay, cool.
Hey, so I saw that you, I don't know if you're a graduate in physics and astrophysics. That's incredible.
Yeah, so physics with astrophysics. I suppose it's the equivalent of majoring in physics and minoring in astrophysics.
I see. Okay.
In America, which is fun. I thought it would be fun. Turns out it's quite an intense degree.
Sounds like it.
If you want to have fun. So I just went, oh, it'll be fun, space.
But does that mean if you watch The Big Bang Theory, you get their jokes?
I mean, if you do physics, you tend to not watch The Big Bang Theory because it's like, this is what people see you as. And it's really upsetting.
Oh god.
The number of people who'd be like, you do a physics degree, oh my god, you're like Amy Farrah Fowler, and I'm like, wasn't she a brain scientist? She's like not even a physicist, she's just the only woman on the show with brown hair. So, like,
Cast typing.
that's why you
Typecasting backwards.
Oh, the number of questions I've had about astrophysics, especially when I was a student. Oh, what do you study? Oh, astrophysics. Oh my god, I'm a Libra. Right, I don't care. So somebody asked me what year I went to the moon in my course.
What year you went to the moon?
If that's part of your...
You should have just made something up.
They were like, so what year do you go to the moon? And I was like, what are you talking about? And they're like, is it 4th year? I'm assuming it's 4th year.
Must be a really expensive program.
Yeah. Somebody asked me if I could write their name on the moon with a laser, and I said, sure.
They had to have been kidding. They had to have been.
I don't know.
They definitely were. You would be surprised. Well, you probably wouldn't be surprised. But I also used to do a little radio feature where I talk about the weather in space, which was fun. Except they also used to let live callers call in, and they'd try and surprise me. They'd call me up and go, right, it's time for space news. They'd be like, space girl, she's a girl who loves space. What's her name? Chloe Sharp. Why is that her name? Because she's Chloe and also sharp.
Super
Wow.
original.
Wow.
And then they go,
Bars.
"Hi, Chloe. How's it going? We've got a special surprise for you. We've had someone on the line right now who was abducted by aliens. Discuss." I'd be like, "What?"
Who was? This is fact.
And
Was.
he'd be like, "So, let me tell you about my alien experience." And I'd be like, "I'm going to stop you right there because everything you're going to say is not going to be true. But okay, go. Tell me your stuff." But yeah, it was crazy. They also used to try and wrangle in advertising too. It was so funny. They'd be like, "So, Chloe, you were talking about looking at the moon this week, but have you tried Blue Moon American beer?"
Oh, clever.
Yeah, with a
So,
slice of orange in it. It's not bad.
I mean, I've never tried it. Still never tried it.
I've seen the commercial.
Oh, so yeah, that was what I did at uni. I'm quite glad. It was nice-ish. I'm glad to not be studying it anymore. It was
glad
quite a
it's-
lot of work.
Glad it's over. I feel like I can relate a tiny bit though, because I went to law school and all of the lawyer TV shows are nothing. Like I've worked for court systems for about 20 years, and like lawyers in court that you see on TV are like absolutely nothing like in real life. And so like that you couldn't get away with any of that stuff. And so I just can't watch them anymore. Anytime I watch it, like I roll my eyes or I make, I scoff, and it's like, I just can't.
So it's just like medical shows.
I'm sure whatever profession you work in, like the TV show version of it is like absolutely phony.
Okay, yeah.
Well, recently I've been working in local government and I started watching Parks and Rec, and it's not too far off.
Oh, that's good.
So I think it depends. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Okay, I've got a question for you. Let's talk about your golden card addiction here. Is it true that decks that are all gold have a higher win rate percentage?
Yeah, it's definitely true. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
By
that's a
3.5%.
especially if you've got like the 1,000 hero thing going on as well, because you get into that game with that person, they've got an all gold deck, they've got 1,000 win hero portrait, you've lost. It's over already. You psych the opponent out. And also, something I've noticed, if I've ever been playing kind of a mixed deck with some golden cards and some non-golden cards, people will always kill the golden one. If you've got 2/1/1s,
Yep.
they'll always kill the golden one.
I like that you said that. That's so
I'm going
true.
to pay attention to this phenomenon.
No,
They
it's a jealousy thing, especially if you play against someone who can't have like golden paladin hero power. They'll kill yours because they can't do it, or they'll kill it. Yeah, she's right. Yep.
Even if it's the kind of thing that, like, if you ever did kind of shadow step it, one would clearly be better than the other one.
Yeah.
They still don't really take that into. Maybe it's just something I think about. I don't know, but
No, it's a thing.
They don't care. They just go straight for the golden one. They
Yeah.
hate the golden one.
That's
People get
hilarious.
jealous of
There's
gold.
nothing truer than that. Yep.
I love the flex though. Okay, then I have to ask the follow up. What card back are you using?
Oh, I have the random one at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, do you think that they would say you had a golden like swashbuckler, something that has a battle cry, but then you also had just like a vanilla 1/1 that was. Wait, let's say the swashbuckler was the plain one, but you had
Yeah,
a
and
golden,
the golden
different
patches.
1/1. And the golden patches. Do you think they would kill the patches and
Yeah,
leave?
they always kill the patches.
Oh,
They
yeah.
always do.
Even though swashbuckler, if you brought
Yeah.
that back to your hand, gives you something.
Who cares?
They
It's not
do.
golden.
But I also think that if you kind of commit to a card, like a full golden deck of something, it kind of you are kind of pledging to yourself that you're going to put the effort in to make your investment worthwhile. And I think one of the things that makes you a really good player is spending a lot of time with the deck. And so if you've made a golden one, you're probably going to just get better at that deck because you've committed to it. So I think you do genuinely become better at playing as well as the intimidation thing.
That's true.
Mm.
No, I love the psychological warfare, though. It's great. I think it's funny when you can like flex on somebody. We were joking about it the other day because Mike has been running that Halloween card back like up until it went on sale. It's like, hey, I've got the original one. And then once it went on sale, it's like, all right, it's time to switch back to a different one. But I do that too. When I rock the alt gold decks, I play the I play the Dollar and Flame card back, the Tespa one, because like
nice.
Nobody has it. It's that intimidation factor, right?
Yeah,
So.
I don't think I've got many exciting card backs. I used to, just because I was going with the pirate theme, I had that piratey card back just to make the whole thing very piratey, and then I started playing some druid and it didn't fit, so I just went on a random one. But I think, with the same reason that you play your top deck lethal, right? It's to even if you're coming in hand, it's to tilt your opponent. It was better when you could just re-queue straight into them and they'd be like, "Rah!"
Yeah,
the last turn. But if you tilt them a little bit and you run into them in a few games time, they're still going to be annoyed at you. They're still probably going to play a little bit worse. So always do everything you can to politely BM your opponent. I'm not advocating for spamming. I'm not advocating for anything roping, but I am advocating for top decking lethal and flashing your golden cards.
Love top deck lethals.
Yeah.
Best place.
I'll be sat there with like Abyss and Leroy and whatever in hand, and then I'll top deck something really dumb like Sinister Strike, and then
Oh, that's good.
That's where you get the friend request. You can top deck lethal, and then you have a screen. Oh, it'd be so nice if you could send a screenshot inside there. Be like, actually.
Sometimes I do say actually I had about 15 different ways to kill you, but normally it's not worth it. I'll just go, yep.
Like, yep, you're right. Got lucky. See you next time.
I've had some really wonderful people add me afterwards. There was one guy who said that he was an engineer and that smart people like him just could never understand the feeble brains of people like me who played X deck or whatever it was that I was playing. I was like, oh, an engineer. At this time, I was like doing my kind of integrated masters in astrophysics. So, oh no, playing an engineer.
Just tell me, get good, right?
Yeah, just get good.
It was, yeah.
Wow.
It's lots of fun. Some people are like, I think you need to understand how good of a player I am. It's like they need to reason with you. Like, I may have just lost, but I am better than you.
Yeah, it happens.
I mean, recently I got a comment from Montenegro, I think, who's quite notorious on EU, I think, who said, he said, do I need to feel sorry for you for running Leroy in this meta? Do you even realize what you've done? Do you realize how
I won! That's what I did.
I was like, yes, I'm sure there is no ulterior motive for why you want me to cut the card that gave me lethal against you,
Yeah.
Which I cut my Kingsbane as well, that helped today.
That's so funny. If you just engage with the trolls a little bit, it's that's pretty funny. I like it.
I had a game where there were so many people running. I've forgotten Sticky Finger.
Yeah.
I saw your tweet.
I put one in myself. They'd steal my weapon and they'd emote, and then I'd steal it back and I'd emote right back. And then I'd have so many people be like, "Why are you running that?" I'm like, "Well, because you're running yours. That's why."
It's the
Yeah,
meta.
give it back.
At one point, I stole a Skull of Gul'dan. Is that the name of the card?
Yep.
Skull Minari?
Yeah, that's the one. Gul'dan. Oh, a bit morbid. Minari, yeah. And I put so many weapon buffs on it. It just looked like the most ludicrous thing. This 11 attack
with their own Skull
Minari.
Minari.
Oh, it was great. I mean, why not? If you're gonna run Sticky Finger, steal everything you can.
That was like an ultimate BM, beating them with their Minari.
Yes,
Oh,
I'm
maybe
impressed.
Attacking with the skull. Wow.
Yeah, it's definitely good. I always enjoyed beating people who played Sticky Finger on me. It became a real matter of kind of honor at that point, especially if they stole it when it was a 1-3. You know,
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
it's really not that big a deal if it's a 1-3. It's when you steal it when it's like got 14 attacks.
yeah, I've stolen one when it had over 14 damage, and it was obviously like an instant concede, right? But not when it's a 1-3.
I played a game against Goku the other day. Well, probably last month, I think, and I knew that he had Sticky Finger, and he was playing that warrior deck.
Odd Warrior.
I'm not sure it was Odd Warrior. Yeah,
There's been a handful of people playing Dead Man's Hand lately too.
Oh,
yeah,
maybe. Yeah.
there's been a number of kind of weird warriors, and it's kind of hard to tell what they're going for.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but I think he was playing Odd Warrior, but I knew he had it, so I just went, right, well, I've got loads of draw in this deck. I'm just never, ever going to leave my Kingsbane out. And I managed to cycle it back into my deck, and I got all the way to the end of my deck and was just getting a 12 attack Kingsbane every turn.
Oh,
And
yeah, smart.
that 4 armor is not going to go very far against 12 damage every turn. So yeah, I actually won with him having Sticky Finger in hand from like turn 1.
Wow.
So you just kept breaking it by hero powering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just, or Doomerang. I can't really remember the exact list I was running. I changed it up a lot, but yeah.
Queen of the Kingsbane. That's awesome.
Shout out to Goku though.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
But
there's something
really good beating him, especially because he was on voice chat with loads of people like Hideo and everyone. So
Yeah.
it was really good. Everyone was like, "You played that surprisingly well," and then they all started thinking, if people just play, never ever keep Kingsbane in hand, then maybe it's an unbeatable deck.
That's
But
funny.
I mean, it's I mean, recently with the rise of Sticky Fingers and with what's that priest card?
Yeah, I was going to ask Illucia, right? Did you run into
Yeah.
issues with that? Was it Mind Render Illucia, something like that?
When it was 2 mana, it was really bad because the amount of times you'd just Sticky Finger on 2, right, and have it in your hand, and they just take it. You know, with it at 3 mana, you can basically, if you coin into your raiding party on 2, or if you Sticky Finger on 2, you can safely have it in your hand, and if they play theirs on 3, you're not going to have a coin in your hand so that they can coin it out. So you're now safe to be able to play your early draw cards, whereas before, just the amount of times it would just disappear on turn 1, and they would have used your coin or whatever. Oh, so annoying. Luckily, less people play it. It costs more mana. But yeah, playing around that and around Sticky Finger, which they're often both running, is kind of it's just never going to work, is it? So if I knew that they had both, I would often just buff up one of my normal daggers and just kind of spread it. So I had medium daggers throughout the game rather than one big one. So it wasn't as bad.
What is your take on Sticky Finger? Like, is it actually a good card? Because I remember back in the day, like way back when Secret Paladin was like the deck, or Secret Mage for that matter, and people started teching in like secret hate cards. I don't even remember. Eater of Secrets was one, or before that it was the God, I don't even remember what it was.
The 4/3 that stole.
Yeah,
the
that would
secret.
steal one of the secrets, right? And people would play that, and I kept thinking, like, don't play that. It's a bad card. It's good in one matchup, and it's terrible in the other 8 matchups. Like, so what is your? I mean, I'm curious if Sticky Finger is good. I mean, I suppose it might be good against Pirate Warrior or Demon Hunter, maybe.
Sticky
But
Finger is actually surprisingly Kazan missed about that. Yeah, thanks, chat. Sticky Finger is not as bad, I think, if you're definitely something that you could consider if you're playing something like a Reno deck, because you're running all one-offs anyway, so just chuck it in there, who cares. But, I mean, worst comes to worst, it's a 4/4 for 5, there are worse stats out there. Is it 4/4 for 5? I think so.
I think that's right.
Yes.
But there's loads of weapons in the game. You know, even loads of people are running that one, the 1-drop one that helps you pick which card you're going to draw, and people are running...
the Sphere of Sapience. Yeah.
People are running all sorts of weapons, and there's enough kind of random, Alaneth you can get sometimes. You can get...
Oh God, playing Alaneth in Kingsbane Rogue? Can you imagine? if only.
Pretty much every deck is capable of getting a weapon from somewhere, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's not that bad.
Hey, can I piggyback on that?
Yeah.
So I like you pointing that out. So you can play that card for fun or competitive because there's a bunch of weapons. But the Kezan Mystic, like you guys were saying, that only works against like the secrets. So it's cool that there's a lot of weapons out there. So this card can be used in a wider spread. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to point that out.
I think it's best used when you get it produced for free in your Pirate Warrior deck from that 1/2. That's when it's best.
Yeah.
And then you steal someone's weapon with it when you don't actually have to include in your deck.
The only time that I ran Secret Hate was I was watching Swaguar play one time at the rank 5 floor, and he created a deck that was 100% Secret Mage Hate, and it had every single thing to destroy a Secret Mage, and it was the funniest stream to watch ever. And so I copied the deck, and yeah, I had a blast. I did the same thing. I set it at the rank 5 floor and just did it over and over and over. Not that you're running into Secret Mages all the time, but it was just fun because the auto concedes were great. Sorry to all those Secret Mages, because I'm guilty of doing that on...
Apologize. Secret Mages are the worst.
I play it on my alternate accounts because it's so cheap, right? Like, it's one of the cheapest decks you can make that's competitive. So on my alternate accounts, I will play it, but I never play it on my main account.
That's fun. I remember seeing a Reddit post. I usually try to stay off, but I read a Reddit post a long time ago about somebody who was calling themselves like the legend gatekeeper, who was like, it was like you're saying, but completely teched against Pirate Warrior. And so it was like nothing but AoE board clears, weapon destruction, it was running 2 crabs, like anything you could think of, and it was just to gatekeep Pirate Warrior. I thought it was just the funniest thing. I
mean, if you're having fun, like, whatever.
It's good. Whatever.
I did craft Golden Eater Secrets, and I did have it in my Kingsbane deck at one point, but it was rubbish. But Secret Mage just is so annoying, especially if you are running the cannons version and you've got lots of kind of smaller minions.
Right.
You're much more susceptible to that Flame Ward. You're much more susceptible to that one that does 6 damage.
Explosive Runes.
Yeah, that one.
Ooh, yeah, that one hurts too.
And then they've got counter spells, so your weapon buffs go, and it just. There was a time when my Kingsbane just got really... If I matched against the Secret Mage, it was really bad. I tend to find that with my current main list, which doesn't have all the cannons in it, Secret Mage is easy. It's great.
Interesting.
Just killed.
Okay.
Because I'm kind of going tall rather than wide. So,
Okay.
Yeah. And, if you smack them a load of times in the face, they don't exactly have any healing. They don't exactly have any taunts. So
Yeah.
they just kind of die, which is good for me.
That's what we
So
want.
yeah, I don't really need to run any of secrets at the moment, but you never know. I've got it in gold for emergencies.
Got that in your back pocket.
Hey, quick question before we move on. There's a lot of news tonight, but we were talking about this right before the show started. You can see in the background there, you've got all of your Hogger and your Murlocs and the lamp. Like, could you tell us or the listeners about like how you got all the merch? I loved the story. This is good.
Oh. So they do these fireside gatherings. You might have seen them. You can kind of go online and see where ones are near you. And there were quite a lot around where I lived at uni, and I used to go to them. And Blizzard sends, if you have an official one, Blizzard sends them big boxes of merch. And so what I would go along and do is generally go along and say, "Hey, wow, Hearthstone seems like an exciting game. Never really done this before. Let's play." And then I just kind of win everything. And I came back with arms full of so many things. I've got beer mats, I've got lanyards, I've got cuddly toys, I've got tops, I've got signed card art, I've got all sorts of things. And posters, yeah, so cool. And yeah, I just used to go around and clear up, and I have no regrets about that. Although I was very notoriously salty at these things. If I lost, I returned from being like, "Oh, hi, it's me," to, "You think you're really good, don't you? Well, you're trash and you're net decking and I hate you." And yeah, they used to call me the Salt Queen.
We call you what?
Either the
Salt
Queen,
Queen?
or they used to call me Lot's wife from the Bible, which is this woman who turned into
salt.
And people
Wow.
used to, when I used to go to these more regularly, and people knew who I was. This was so, and then people used to like sprinkle salt in front of me, which didn't help my saltiness at all.
Damn.
Anyway,
Oh God,
I'm
that's
shit about it all now, but
It's good marketing team now.
It was when these like rank 19 players would play their basic deck, they
Rank
would
19.
somehow smork their way to victory, and then they'd be like, "I'm so much better than you."
Oh my goodness.
You're
That
really
one-
not.
That one win.
You're not. I just took it way too personally. No. I think you'll find you're very confused. Let me make this clear for you. You're not better than me. I'm the best.
I have a hard
Like,
time
get them
picturing
right.
you angry. That's so funny.
I know. So bad. Anyway, we've all grown up since then.
Oh,
so
a little bit.
These days, I just kind of laugh. If I get murdered. Recently, well, not recently, but there was that wild tournament that Solom hosted. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I started the EU one, and I was like, "Okay, Claire, you haven't done a Hearthstone tournament for a while, but we're going to take this seriously." I put a lot of work into my decks. Well, I totally forgot that Vargoth had been banned. So I got through the first round because my deck with Vargoth on it got banned.
Oops.
Without them noticing, so I didn't play any illegal cards. And then when I was in the second round, I started. I had this perfect opener. I did my kind of Oaken summons into Vargoth, into another Oaken summons, great. And then my opponent messaged me and was like, "That's a ban card." And I just immediately had to withdraw from the tournament.
Oh.
I took that quite well because it meant I got to go to bed early. So that was nice. These days I'm a lot more like, well, what can you do? It's just Hearthstone. It's gonna be all right.
Oh well. One last question. That lamp behind you, we were talking about it earlier. So you said we thought you had made it at first. You said you bought it from somebody like on Etsy or somewhere?
Yeah, from Portugal.
Wow,
Very,
that is
very
quite a long ways from I think any of us.
Yeah, I mean, this is why I didn't just kind of link the shop and suggest that people did it. I figured probably import tax would. I didn't want to be responsible for anyone making a really poor financial investment. Basically, I can link it if you really want, but yeah, it's really.
It's brilliant. Yeah,
I want one.
I know, right?
Like bad.
I forget. So for the people who are not watching this live, if you're listening to the audio version of this, there is this amazing, like it's like hand carved wood lamp with very intricate, like they look like
They're the Hearthstone card back.
yeah, they're the card backs, like carved into the sides of this lamp, and it's all different colors. And oh my god, yeah, that's amazing. So.
It's a good lamp.
I got you back. In a serious, non-sarcastic, but it's gonna sound funny way. Picture for people who can't see it before you see it. Picture yourself at like those pizza parlors, like a Pizza Hut, 90s style with the lights. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can picture like when I saw it, that's what I thought of, like a pizza parlor with the car rings and the light. But it's with the Hearthstone card backs. Like, it's pretty sick. Like, I'm in awe. I want a couple of those. Those are pretty cool. I don't have any like Hearthstone like items or memorabilia, but that right there, that looks pretty cool. I want that.
You know what? Some free advice: don't start because it gets expensive, man. I don't know. I started buying these stupid little toys, and like, I can't even tell you. Some of them were quite a lot of money. And I was telling Smudge earlier, like that coffee mug that she's drinking from. I saw it on eBay over the weekend for like $250. I hope that you didn't pay that much for it, but like you can't. This is where they get you, right? They make it. It's
£6.
There you go.
And I've got all 4 of them. I've got them in blue, green, yellow, and red.
I love it. They make them available for a limited time, and they only do a limited run, and so you can get it when it comes out for your $10 or whatever it is, and then you can't buy it anymore, and then someone down the line 5 years later wants one. You want my exclusive coffee mug? $250. Take that. I mean, I just bought I've been buying those cute but deadly figurines and tracking down the Sylvanas one from Comic-Con 2015. Like it was like $100 at least. It was insane. And there were a couple going for $250. It was absolutely ridiculous. Wow. And so I was like, well, I'm not paying that much for one, but like kind of just watching to see, one go on sale or something. But anyways, you go down that rabbit hole for a while. But anyways, there's lots of news. So let's I guess let's transition a little bit here if you guys are okay with that.
Yeah.
I do want to say a couple things real quick before we get into the news. A gigantic shout out and thank you to the patrons of our show, especially Shokunin and Pug Ugly as the executive producers of our show. Thank you so much for sponsoring us and helping kind of keep the lights going in the background. You help us afford the website and other things, and we really appreciate it. Also, big thank you to our other patrons. Where did I moved the thing? Adam W. and Claudette G. Thank you so very much for supporting the show. And also, before we move into the next segment, I also did want to give a big shout out. We like to celebrate when there's a first-time Wild Legend. And so we had one over the past week. I think we missed it last week, and they let us know in our Discord. So big shout out to the Grekin, who hit first-time Wild Legend with Blue Train's Aggro Druid. Super duper cool. Especially that first time when you hit like all the nerves and all the excitement and everything. It's super cool. So congratulations, big shout out. He says here, got first time Wild Legend, first time ever Legend. Thanks to everyone in here, referring to the Discord, especially Blue Train. So,
awesome!
Congrats!
Nice.
And,
congrats!
Big shout out.
Yep, big shout.
Right on. Well, quickly before the news, how about we do a quick round the table to see how everybody's weeks went and what they were doing. Mike, what were you up to this week?
Oh man, lots of stuff this week. Let's talk the fun stuff. So, I did some streams this week, like normal. This week, I did Discord voice. I was with DuoCat most of the stream, and then Blue Train had jumped in. And that's in this particular stream, got a bunch of raids. So you know me, name dropper. I'm going to name drop everybody like always.
Do it.
Doin came in with the big raid. Homie Trestus came in. Concerned Mom came in with like 150 people or something like that.
Dang,
It was
wow,
crazy.
Nice.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, so I was in Discord voice with DuoCat and Blue Train, and we also had Smudge come in the stream. So that was pretty cool.
Nice.
Smudge came to hang out. Got to
Nice.
watch me.
Very cool.
Watch me lose
Yeah,
some
like-
games. You know what I'm saying?
At like 7:30 in the morning, I woke up and was like, "Oh,
Yeah. What time was it for you?
It was about 7:30, 7:45, I think,
Yeah, really.
before work."
Yeah, it was a cool stream because like people just kept raiding, so I was like, let's just keep going. You know that feeling? Like, why would I
Yeah.
leave? Like more
Yeah.
people keep coming in. Like,
Keep
holy
riding the
crap.
wave.
Yeah, man, it was nuts. Yeah, I got this new mouse pad. It's got a gel wrist rest.
Oh yeah.
See that, baby? Yeah, that's increased my win rate, so I'm up to like 49%. I posted
I saw that.
my stats in Discord. Maybe it's 46. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, to wrap it up, I won a giveaway in Slizzle's channel the other day.
Oh what?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, in his lunchtime stream, I was just hanging out, you know, just talking to chat like normal because I'm a VIP in his channel because I'm always there. Shout out to Slizzle, and then yeah, I just won the giveaway. So I'm still waiting on the 2 days. I guess we weren't friends on BattleNet.
Oh,
So-
yeah, I don't know.
Gotta
It's-
wait.
Yeah.
Gotta wait 3 days.
He's probably
not
got a
that,
full list.
not that I'm hurting for packs, you know, but it's all good. And then also I've been watching this new TV show. It's called C. It's on Apple TV. Have you guys heard of this?
Oh, is that the one they were talking about on the Discord, though?
Yeah. So
no,
the show,
I haven't watched it yet, but is it good?
Yeah. So shout out to Giselle in Discord. She recommended it. And it's a very good TV show starring Jason Momoa. You know, Aquaman.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man, it's a very sick TV show. Very very cool. And to wrap it up, people I played against this week in Hearthstone, I thought it was Electric Sheep City. It was Electric Sheep, so I got the name wrong. I thought I played against Nate Wolf, but there's no E. It was just Nate Wolf with no E.
It's pretty sus.
So there's two imposters there for you guys. And then, just like Nate, I queued into the legendary Raffle.
Mhm.
Oh.
Yeah.
You should check his YouTube and see if you made it. Wait, did you win or lose?
No, keep going. You're right. Keep going.
I made that comment the other day. I'm like, hey, I'm only in Raffles YouTube videos when I'm losing to him. What's up with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I seen his YouTube, and I was going in to sign in and start streaming, and he's the first person I queued into, and I was like, oh, well, here we go.
And of
Big.
course, it was some terrible deck that he did really well with, right?
Yeah.
That's
That's
Oh, yeah.
what he did to me.
Yeah.
I was tryharding with something at some point, and he like destroyed me with this weird janky thing I've never even seen before. Thanks, Raffle.
Yeah, so Raffle, if you want to get some merch going, the I Lost to Raffle Club, you know, you can throw that merch on your YouTube page.
That is-
oh my
genius.
god, that is brilliant.
I lost a Raffle with a little screenshot of it on the back.
We just-
Of your head exploding.
I lost a Raffle. You can watch me on YouTube. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, you can check me on YouTube. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yes,
Wait,
I lose to Raffle about once a month, and I typically make it onto his YouTube videos. There's 2 of them in our Discord. They're embarrassing. Trust me.
Yeah, but that was my week in Hearthstone, or just overall. Let me pass it off to Smudge. How's your week?
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, I didn't do much. I mainly did work, but this morning I found out I had the results of I'm getting chartered as an accountant, and I'm in my final couple of exams, and I found out that I passed my last one.
Oh,
Yay!
congrats! That's great.
Oh,
That's
This
great.
nice.
morning, I got 80%, and the pass mark was 50. So
Nice. Very good.
brim
Very good.
there, which
That's
was
awesome.
good. Yeah, I spent most of last night having nightmares. I got 49%.
Oh, yeah.
49%.
I know how
And
that
then
is.
I genuinely, the amount of times I dreamed that I had got 49%, and then I dreamed that I woke up and it wasn't real, and I went to check it and that I got 49%, and I was just stuck in a loop. Oh, it was
Oof.
horrible. By the time I
Yeah.
actually woke up, I was just emotionally exhausted.
Well,
But-
don't worry, you're not dreaming this time.
Well,
No,
I mean,
not at all.
when I first checked it, it was a bit higher than I'd expected because, over COVID and stuff, it's not been exactly perfect times to take exams.
Hmm.
And so I really wasn't expecting to get a decent mark. So I did have to kind of pinch myself to see whether I just had another dream that I got another mark. But yeah, no, it's real. I'm here. Either that or this is a really long dream. But yeah, apart from that, not much has been happening this week. Haven't been watching anything, haven't been doing anything, just been fretting. Well, I've been playing a lot of really dumb versions of Kingsbane decks, but I mean, that's my week every week. So.
Right?
Well, that's cool.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
How about you, Nate? What have you been up to this week?
Yeah, so a couple things. I'll try to go quick. I learned something new over the past week. I don't remember quite when it was. Maybe it was last weekend, but Blue Train showed me how to add auto squelch to Hearthstone deck tracker, and I've been using that, and it's been brilliant. I like it. And it works pretty well. I enjoy it. So that's been a little bit of a game changer for me. Although I've been so used to squelching myself that half the time because it auto squelches right away, I'll go up and unsquelch them on accident because I'm so used to doing it myself as like part of the game. But
Yeah.
like I get tilted really easy and I get angry and I yell at the computer and so I know you guys always see me when I'm happy, but but it's that like the Hulk, right? You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Yeah.
So anyways, but I installed it. It was very easy to install. If anyone is interested in doing that, I will show you how to do it because Blue Train showed me how to do it. It was pretty easy. I have just about finished up my collection of these cute but deadly figurines. It was kind of a pricey investment, but I like them. I'm only missing one now. It's the little blue Murloc. It's like this little one here, except instead of purple or green or orange, it's the blue one, and I cannot find it anywhere except in Australia, and this guy won't mail internationally. So,
Boo.
but anyways, but aside from that, it's been pretty good. I spent last weekend binge watching The Haunting of Bly Manor on Netflix, and I really enjoyed it. I thought that was good. I finished that up, and I started rewatching Broadchurch, which I greatly enjoy. I've been playing a lot of Hades, and for everybody who has heard the hype about Hades, it's a really great game, and for $25, it's totally worth it. I've had 3 successful completions of it, I think. But it's not. It's really fun. Anyways, I recommend it. And then I've barely touched Hearthstone. So last week, yes, Electric Sheep. There's a third season of Broadchurch on Netflix. I'm sure there's more probably on BBC or wherever, but on USA Netflix there's 3 seasons. So last week I was talking about, like, I had hit legend on day 4 of the month this month, and I was super burnt out for last week's show. And so over the last couple of days, like, I pulled up my my stats, and I kind of realized why that is. So I put it up on the screen. It's probably hard to see, but I realize now why I burned myself out. It's because in 4 days I played 234 games of Hearthstone and hit legend with a 52% win rate at 10 stars. Like, that's why I burn out.
That's a lot of games.
I put in 20 and a half hours in 4 days. So that's a lot of Hearthstone.
Yeah, after I checked my stats to compare to yours, I was sitting at like 70 games. I'm like, oh. Wow.
So I haven't played much. I played a little bit more over the past couple of days, but it was like, oh, I played 234 games in 4 days. Oh, I see. It's like, and I don't know. I mean, I guess for people, like, if you got a lot of spare time, but like, I work a full-time job and I've got a family, like, this is not a healthy thing to do. I do not recommend it. So it put it into perspective a little bit. And I swear, like, we do these things, like, we post, hey, I hit legend with Q Block and I went 10-2 for my 85% win rate or whatever it was. But like, overall, for like for like all of my games the whole month, like, that's not a very good win rate. So, I mean, I don't know. And then the last little thing that happened to me over the weekend, which I thought was kind of funny, I actually think it was earlier today or yesterday, is I ran into myself on ladder, which was kind of odd. So I ran into somebody else named Nate Wolf on ladder.
Hey, that's him.
Yeah, I know, right? I got the screenshot.
That's the guy.
Yeah, I ran into him also.
I took notes. See, look, I'm just like Smudge. I take notes too. Paper, you know what I'm saying? That's the guy.
Nate Tackle.
So, that's right. Yes, that's right. Nate Tackle. Hearthstone player by day, police officer by night. Tackle. Yes, I had an imposter. It was very odd. It was kind of a surreal experience, but like, I was playing pretty defensively teched Q Block against Pirate Warrior, and he conceded very quickly.
Imposter.
I wonder what they thought.
I sent a friend request after, and it was not accepted.
Sour.
I don't know.
So sour.
You would think if it was a coincidence that this other person is actually named Nate Wolf, they would have accepted and be like, "Whoa,
are you me?" Yeah, I don't know. It's possible. I don't like, I've Googled my name before, and there's some like research scientist who has the same name.
You beat a scientist.
No, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on, but it was a little bit surreal. It was like, I have to win this. If I lose this, like, I lose major major internet points
no
here.
The dominant Nate Wolf.
That's right. I had to assert my dominance.
Second best.
Exactly.
You don't be the lesser wolf.
I once had somebody message me saying, "Hey, am I playing you right now?" And I went, "No, is there another Smudge?" And they sent me the screenshot, and they were called Fat Princess.
Rude.
What? That's not funny. What? Are you serious?
Okay.
I thought it was funny.
That's messed
I was
up.
not excited. I thought there was another Smudge.
Yeah, it's rude, but wow,
It's pretty funny, but
I mean,
God.
it's pretty funny.
All right. Hydra, what about you? How was your week, man?
So my week, you know how that Rexar thing came out?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we never really talked about it, but
I haven't played it yet. I was planning on doing it this weekend.
Well, I did the thing that I do because I do things on all 3 servers. So I did it 3 times.
Do you get anything good from your hunter packs?
No, I didn't. But I had, the funny thing is, the first time I played it on NA, I breezed through it while watching like TV on the side, and I didn't lose a darn game. And then I saw all these things on Twitter about people not understanding the Misha matchup. I guess it's a little confusing. I'm like, oh, apparently I did that correctly. I wasn't really paying attention. But I beat it like first try, every single mission. It was completely the easiest thing I ever did. Then I went on EU. I don't know if it's the same night or the next day. I think it was the next day. And then suddenly everything was a problem. Like I think I went through the first 4, and then in the next like 3 or 4 matches, I was losing. I couldn't figure out what the hell I was doing, why I did so great on the previous server. And then I ended up beating it. It was okay. Then I go to Asia, and I start breezing through, and I have one of those legendary quests that says, like, play 50. It's just like play 50 cards, I think it was. Like, it was nothing. And then it goes, as soon as I did that, while I'm mid playing through this solo content, it goes, beat the first boss in the solo content is my next quest.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but I'm already on level 5.
Start over.
Time to start over.
Run it back, son.
I'm like, dang it, don't I auto get that one? I did that already. So I still played it through, and then once I beat it, I just played level 1 again, so it wasn't like that big of a deal. So yeah, no, I did all that. I wouldn't call it a time waster because there's if you're playing on extra accounts, you have all your legendary quests and you get packs and packs and packs. So
That's true. I'm still rank chicken in my EU account.
I'm so disappointed in you.
I really should. I've got a bunch of packs to unlock.
yeah, why not? All the legendary quests do it. There's lots of packs.
No, here's what happened, right? I'm frustrated that you can't import your collection to different servers because I've got a complete collection, including a bunch of gold stuff on NA, and I've got absolutely nothing on EU except a complete Demon Hunter deck. And then when you play, number one, you can't play Wild until you hit rank 20 or whatever it is. And then to make it worse, like, everyone else is in the same boat, but they give you the free Demon Hunter deck. And so everybody, it's just Demon Hunter mirrors, like, over and over and over, and it's awful. So
Sounds
anyways, I'll revisit it. I would like to play with my EU friends from time to time.
It's fun. I'll like do, how you get the spectate quests and stuff. Like I have some friends on EU and Asia, like Slizzle, and Appa has multiple accounts, so I've got like those guys that I'll watch or ADG against every once in a while. But I only have like maybe 5 friends on each of those 2 servers. But other than that, I played some Odd Paladin on Asia. I already have like a pretty good Odd Paladin, but Ghost Dog posted Slizzle actually posted it for Ghost Dog in our Discord, and it's featuring having the animated broomstick and tour guide. And I'm going to say tour guide is disgusting.
Tour guide is
in Odd Paladin.
Yeah.
Here for the tour.
It's just gross.
Tour guide is absolutely disgusting. I'm fairly convinced after watching his stream that Jack has the best Odd Paladin list. But
yeah,
I think so. But I could be wrong.
Well, see, I don't know what the difference is between him and the one that Ghost Dog was running, but
they're all very similar. I mean,
yeah,
honestly, but
it seems pretty gross, and I was having a lot of fun. And on Asia, I think my MMR is pretty low, but I think it's like an 8x on it, even though my MMR is low. And so like I'm versing people that aren't so great, and then I just can like win streak my way up, which is pretty cool. So
nice.
That's basically been my week. As for TV, for some reason, my wife and I have been, I don't know if I said this last week or not, but we've been marathoning Frasier.
How fun. I never watched it. I heard about it and I never got into it. What does he do?
He's a radio host, and he's a psychiatrist, and he just talks on the radio, and it's a dumb sitcom. It's the spinoff from Cheers. And it's old, but for some reason we just started watching. It's when we go to bed. What we do is we lay in bed and we put on a TV show, and just husband and wife, we lay there and we play on our phones and we put something on in the background, and that's the one that we've been doing. So nothing interesting when it comes to TV. We're almost done the Umbrella Academy season 2.
Yeah.
I heard it was good. I have not watched it yet.
Man. Oh, that's tight.
We're not quite done. I think I only have like 2 episodes left, something like that. But yeah, no, that show's dope. That's really cool. I want to still watch that Raised by Wolves show. Haven't started it yet, but I want to watch that.
I watched the first episode, and the first half of it was really boring, and the second half of it was like, oh my god, like what just happened?
Yeah, and I heard it was nuts.
Yes. I don't want to spoil it, but like, and it is very sci-fi, which is not normally my thing, but like I enjoyed the first episode. It was pretty trippy. I have not watched any since. It was a little jarring. I'm not gonna lie. I like horror, and this was like, whoa, oh my god. All right.
Oh, interesting. Well, that's pretty much it for my week. So I think we should just jump right into this. Hey,
I'm ready for this.
Yeah. Let's do it.
So the biggest thing that we got going here is...
Oh, wait. Oh. Sorry. Hey, did any of you guys get the golden transfer students yet?
No.
I spent all day playing stupid PvE stuff because people told me if you do at least one of all the PvEs, you'll get it. And I still haven't.
Did you do the Rexar Book of Heroes yet?
Yeah, I did all of it. Oh, it was so rubbish. Sorry, Blizzard.
I can't...
not into PvE stuff. It's not my thing.
Nah.
Unless I'm playing Heroes of the Storm, of course.
Oh, yeah. Good call.
Wait. So this... Sheep is in chat, says he got it. I want to know how you get it. Ben Hearthstone says what he did was he played one game of Book of Heroes, one match of Battlegrounds, one arena, and then one game each of Trial by Fellfire, Galakrond's Awakening, Tombs of Terror, Dollar, and Heist. But like, I don't know. We'll see. All right. Sheep, I guess Sheep has got it in Discord how to do it, but I don't. I'm not quite there yet, but...
Do you have to have done it in your life, or do you have to do it now?
I think you have to do it now, but...
I'm going to pass. I don't think I'll play the card once I get it.
I'm not sure it's worth the stress.
I'm going to let it happen naturally.
There's a lot of stress for a card I'm not going to play, and I can't even dust it.
Oh.
When it comes, it comes.
That's funny. All right.
Where are my fans? Where my echo chamber? Let me know, because I don't know. It seems silly, like all this stress for this card I can't even dust, and I'm not going to play it.
No, I mean, I remember when we had Mentalistic on, right? And we played it because it was brand new, and we played it, and it was like, oh, this is cute. But like, am I going to actually run this in a deck on purpose? Probably not, because it's too random. Like, random is fun. Random is like core Hearthstone, right? But it's not what I want when I'm trying to win games.
Yeah.
And winning is more fun than random.
You can't put this card in Golden Kingsbane. Am I right?
I mean, you could, but but I wouldn't.
Oh. Yeah, exactly. There you go.
There
you go. Yeah.
They're like Pokemon. You got to catch them all, right? All right. Let's move on then.
Non-golden, it's fine.
It wasn't very good to begin with, but
I'm hyped for the news coming up.
I apologize. Let's move into the news.
Okay, so we have the traditional announcement of an announcement. We ended up getting.
Did you guys watch the YouTube?
And a little, yeah. It's like a 36-second long little teaser, right? and it doesn't show much, but everybody started, I don't want to say theory crafting, but trying to figure out exactly what this whole thing is going to be. And it's what people are saying, it's the Dark Moon Fair thing.
It has to be. It has to be. So if you look at the background that we're using today, so first off, here, the picture from the trailer is the eyeball, right? But if you look at the back, like the background that we're using for the video version of this or on stream, like that is the Dark Moon Fair. It is the Dark Moon Fair. Like there is no question about it. I did have a question for Goliath about, like, hey, that looks awfully like the Eye of Cthulhu. Like clearly it is the Dark Moon Fair, but like, is there some kind of old gods influence? And the answer that I got was, God, he's not in chat, is he?
He is.
Let me tell you the answer that he gave me. I said, hey, is there a connection between Dark Moon Fair and Cthulhu? I saw the giant eye. And he said it's more likely to have a specific tie to N'Zoth, but yeah, one of the core features of the Dark Moon Fair is that it's very strongly hinted that there are shadowy old god forces connected to it. We just don't know exactly what or how. Hopefully some of that will get explored in Hearthstone. So very interesting. Very interesting. I really don't know. I thought I did a little bit of research on the WoW wiki earlier because I really have not played WoW at all. And there's not a whole lot of info on it. It seems like a bunch of side quests and mini games and stuff. But like, it could be pretty fun.
I hope they release some cards.
They're gonna release. Well, they're doing the thing next week, right? So
So that's
getting. Oh no, I'm sorry. You mean Old God? Like
like a reprint, like a new print of Cthulhu, some new effects, some new art, something beautiful. But it's news time, so I'll shut up.
But no, what you're saying would be kind of cool if they did put like some Cthulhu support or something like that.
I would love it because I remember way back when we had asked, like, hey, are you guys going to make more Cthulhu interaction cards in the future? And they were like, nope. And so if they do, that would be so cool.
Yeah, it would.
I don't know. Anyways, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to steal your thunder. Please carry on.
Yeah, all good. So they announced basically in the little trailer, it just showed the eye, and then there were some balloons coming up, and then they say, come one, come all, on October 22nd at 8 a.m. in the morning on both Twitch and YouTube, there is going to be a live stream with Benjamin Lee, and they're going to reveal, quote, several major announcements. So not just one, it's not just an expansion reveal, several major announcements. And they're going to have game designers Pat Nagel, John McIntyre, and John Wang. And they're all going to speak and reveal in depth with Brian Kibler all the exciting news about these several major announcements. So when it says several, there was another tweet that came out afterwards with a little picture. Nate, do you have that photo?
Should be up on the screen.
Yeah, so there's 3 different things that they have highlighted. That they have the picture of the eye where it says the expansion, and then they have in the center system revamp. And then on the right side, new game mode. So it looks like we are going to get a lot of information in this stream. Note, there is going to be Twitch drops. You can get a couple cards for watching. So if you want to tune in on Thursday, October 22nd,
free dust.
I'm so irritated because that's when I'm supposed to be at work at 8 o'clock. Like,
yeah, I know. You know what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sign in on my phone and like put my phone in my desk and then go do whatever, and I'll just get the.
Yo, Nate, just leave your computer on.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'll have it on in the background, like on my phone or on the computer at home.
Yeah, plug the headset in, turn the volume down, leave the computer on. Oh yeah, I got all the tricks in the book, man. Yeah, it'll be good.
I want to watch it live. That's my problem. Like I'm gonna have to watch it later, and I'm gonna have to avoid social media until like my lunch break.
Or all of the Discord notifications that pop up on your phone all day long. Because you know that's going to happen. We're all going to be talking about it.
Hey, can I ask Smudge a question?
Yeah, of course.
So,
Yeah.
what time is? So this reveal is 8 a.m. Pacific. What time is that for you?
I think that's a bit more normal for me.
You'll be wide awake, right?
What is that? Is that 6 p.m.?
4 p.m.
4?
4 p.m. Okay.
So yeah, probably be still at work, but
Mm.
working from home some days a week. Maybe it'll work out.
What's up? At least
I'm
it's
jealous.
not 4 in the
Yeah.
morning,
That's true.
right?
Do you guys have any predictions? Like, I think the system revamp they're talking about, this battle pass system where you level up your characters, you level up your stuff, kind of like we've talked about in the past, and a little bit like that survey that we got. And so I'm kind of, I don't know, I'm kind of over that a little bit. I mean, you guys, we can talk about it if you want to, but I'm more curious. Do you guys have any like last minute predictions for the new game mode before they announce it?
The only thing that I wanted to point out about the game mode, and it was pointed out in chat. I'm trying to find where it happened, but somebody had pointed out, not in chat, in Discord, where it says pull up all the chairs. And in the tweet, there are 6 chairs sitting at the top.
Put on your tinfoil hats for this one.
Okay.
And so it says pull up all the chairs, and there are 6 chairs. So I don't want to get anybody's hopes up. However, that sounds like multiplayer.
Okay.
But that's all I got to say about that. I really don't know. And obviously it says it's a wild thing. But
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I mean, I think they learned the hard way, right? When they said
and it was gobbledygook, by the way, who said that.
Oh, okay. They did, yes, they did say previously to not dust your wild cards because you will be able to use them in this new game mode. Like, I don't know what that means. It could be a lot of things. It could be rotating card pools. It could be, I don't know. If there was some kind of 2v2, that'd be cool. If it was some kind of, I mean, so I
They
think.
had 3 chairs on either side, right?
Oh, they did. That is true.
If we're going on the chair theory,
Okay. 3 versus 3.
3v3.
That's interesting.
Or
That's
it's
true.
Okay.
musical chairs and one person gets eliminated each time.
Here's my thought.
Oh,
Like,
randomly.
I think that when they made the mistake of initially saying, "Hey, we're doing tournament mode," and then coming out like a year later saying, "You know what? We can't do tournament mode. Sorry, it's not working out for us." And it was such a crushing blow, and everyone was so like angry and irritated at them over that. You know, I don't think that they'll reveal something like that unless they can actually pull it off. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, they've been able to do, you know, the PvP or whatever, like what do they call them, like lobbies or whatever in Battlegrounds.
Mm-hmm.
And so if they can do it in Battlegrounds, like, do you think they could do it in Hearthstone? Maybe. I don't know.
Constructed or I feel like they could. If there's 8 people there and 2 people match up against each other, I feel like it's almost in the game already, where 2 people versus 2 people, another 2 people versus 2 people.
Yeah.
For all I know, it could be best of 3, and then you get eliminated, and then it just narrows down till there's just 2 people left, and they could use the same sort of platform as Battlegrounds.
I'm honestly like a little bit afraid to speculate. Like, you know, when you're going to the movies and if you get all hyped up that this movie is going to be awesome and then it sucks and you're really disappointed, right? But if you go into the movies being like, well, you know, I just want to have a good time. And even if it sucks, like, you know, and then the movie turns out to be really good, you're like, wow, that was great. Yeah, that's really, you know, blew me away. Like, that's kind of what I'm doing here. Like, I don't want to get my hopes up and then be disappointed.
That's what happened to me with The Matrix when that came out. I was like, this movie looks dumb, and then it was the best thing ever.
I thought you were going to say something different, and I'm glad you said what you said.
I was gonna say that that's probably why they're giving you 3 announcements at once. So if one sucks, you might have some luck with the other 2.
Oh man, Smudge,
Oh,
yo, you're
there
so
we go.
smart. Yo, that's genius. Yes, yep. It's like a stand-up comedian. You know, they try one joke, crowd's not feeling it. All right, next one. Second one pops. Like, oh yeah, this is the one. Yeah, forget that first one. This is right here.
I almost feel like you know what's really interesting though. I think if the new game mode, like they must be pretty confident that it's going to be good because they're saving it for last. Like if it were me and I had something that I thought there was potential that it was going to suck, I would do it first.
That's a good point. They do have it as last.
Okay.
That being said, it's last in this infographic here. It doesn't mean that it's going to be last on the stream. I don't know. I mean, yes, RM Orange pointing out Diablo Mobile, which is pretty funny. I mean, I remember at the BlizzCon, like, everyone's all excited, like, show us the new games. What kind of awesome new stuff do you have? And they're like, yeah, we're making a Diablo game for the cell phone, and we're re-releasing StarCraft 1 in HD. And everyone's like, why? Like, what? We don't want those things.
We want tickets to the show.
We want Diablo 4 and like StarCraft 3. Can you do that instead, maybe? And I just remember how much they got hated on. And like, would I play Diablo on my phone? Maybe not. I don't know. Probably not, frankly. But like, I'm intrigued at the idea. But it was just not. People were so upset, and it was. You kind of have to laugh at it. I mean, I don't know. I work in management, and like people are never happy. That's just the reality.
Year, if they announced StarCraft Ghost is back online, everyone will freak out. They'll be excited. That'll never happen.
That's pretty funny.
It's a dream of mine, though. I was so disappointed when StarCraft Ghost was canceled.
Yeah, I know. They had the demo and everything, so I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
But anyway, so clearly this is Dark Moon Fair, right? It has to be. Like it's straight out of like all of the screenshots and everything. Like there's no. I mean, what that actually means though will be interesting. We'll rope Goliath into doing a lore episode.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he'll be down. So
I'm volunteering you, Goliath. I'm sorry.
Yep. Auto volunteer. Okay. Well, if we don't have anything else to say on that for now, anybody else?
Wait. Yeah,
hey, yeah.
What?
Yeah. Well, no. Yeah, Mike, you go first.
No, I'll go last. I was just making sure everybody got their voice out there. That's all.
I did want to say, Imic predicted this a year ago when they released that card back, the Dark Moon Fair card back. Imic made the prediction a year ago, saying. Hey, please make this at least an event or an expansion around Dark Moon Fair. He only played like 5 hours of WoW, but the theme looks super cool, and he just reposted it. And so, like, he said, "Yeah, I'm the real Prophet Velen." I like that. But just a shout out there. So, good call. I mean, it has to be this, right? It's clearly that's the theme. But you know, it's really interesting. I'm kind of curious what they do for it. In my very basic research into it in WoW, like there's a bunch of mini games, right? Like you would have at a carnival. It makes me wonder if when they do the solo content for it, that we will have, you know, it'll be set up like booths or whatever. Have you?
It's all I do when I play WoW. I just go to the fair.
Oh, that's cool. So you actually play it?
Cool.
Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah.
You go around and you get like tokens for winning games, and you can save them up and trade them for special stuff. And there's candy, and you know, there's things where you like fly all around. You kind of see those like hoop things. They look like fireworks. There's a game where you kind of get launched and you fly through all of them. There's like racing games. There's games where you go around and there's like a hoopla. And there's games where you go around and shoot little ship things. There's all sorts of things.
I wonder if it'll be like the Boomsday solo content, like with the puzzles, except games.
That'd be interesting. I mean, they keep thinking outside the box, trying new things. It would be interesting, and clearly there's like some very specific characters from this set. They interestingly enough, when like the WoW card game, they had a little like 5-card expansion for Darkmoon Faire, and I was looking at those cards. I posted them in the Discord. So I imagine that a couple of those things will be characters. One is like the main. I can't think of his name. Silas something or other, as the like the ringleader, if you will. And then they have some giant cannon, right? Is that the thing? Like it launches you out the cannon, and you have to go through like the hoops of fire.
Yeah, and if you keep going through them, you kind of keep that momentum up. And if you miss them, like I always do, then you just plop.
Oh yeah, there you go. Silas Darkmoon. There you go for the Darkmoon Faire. 100% that'll be a legendary probably.
Oh yeah, no, there's one where I think the one where they launch out of the cannon. I think you have to like land in this ring in the sea. But it's really hard. Oh yeah, no, it's been a while. Clearly, I need to revisit Darkmoon Faire.
Yeah, I want to see it now. I'm curious about it. Smudge, do you have any predictions on what the new game mode will be?
I don't know. I think that I kind of agree with the tournament thing, especially with the chairs. When you were saying it, I was fully believing you. So I quite like that. But I mean, maybe it could be like, considering it is Darkmoon Faire, or like, they could have loads of kind of just mini games, that kind of thing. I don't know. Like based around the Darkmoon Faire games, some kind of Hearthstone hoopla. I don't know. Could happen. Been surprised before. I just remember when I started playing, they had that blank line before Tavern Brawl.
Yeah.
It was Tavern Brawl, and I mentioned to someone, I was like, a new game mode is coming. It's coming. You can see it's gonna be there, and then it came out, and I was really disappointed because it sucks.
That's awesome. Well, that's what I like about the new the button that says modes now, that has arena and battlegrounds in it. It's an ultimate modes button, so we know that they're going to keep adding to that, which is pretty sweet.
You know what, though? It's funny because we do the same thing. Like they've done this lately in the store, where you go into the in-game store, and they've clearly like reserved a space for something, and then they just leave it blank.
Yeah,
like that's where my Halloween card back would be, or that's where my cupcake card back would be if it was in the store right now. So
I've got a T-shirt with that cupcake card back on it.
Nice. All right, we got some more news, right?
Mike, did you have something?
Oh yeah. Mike, what do you got?
It was just wacky and goofy out of the box.
That's good.
So they said save your wild card, and then I didn't know what it would be, and then I saw this fair thing. So then I was like, maybe it's some kind of like slot machine game where
you trade in all your wild cards for standard ones.
That's a nightmare. Anyway,
Sorry,
That's horrible.
That's just something that they would. Oh God, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that.
No. I was thinking something like we get to pick 15 cards, and then you go into like what sidestep. What's that card game called? Is it War? When you play with like regular cards?
Yeah.
So like a war type of thing, based on the cards you bring to this.
Yeah.
But obviously, the idea with that, you'd stack your deck with 10 drops. So maybe there's some kind of skill there where you bring other spells or lower cost minions to certain ways for combos work. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of something crazy, like some kind of mini game. I would love if
fun, actually,
on the day they release this information that they release like some kind of Darkmoon Faire?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Darkmoon Faire Cthulhu stuff or Old God stuff, something like that day.
Man.
Like go update your client. Let's go.
Oh,
But
I know what it is.
The new game mode, I honestly have no idea. I'm gonna do what Nate said and just like go into it with no expectation. Kind of like when you go see a movie, and I'm just here to see the movie. And if it's good, it's good.
Here's my 1%, less than 1% actual of this happening prediction. It is a wild exclusive expansion.
Okay, I'll write that down. I'll write that down.
You know,
That's
the,
the hottest take.
Standard can't have it. They can't
There
have
you
it.
go.
Take when
It's
no
for us
cakes are
only.
burning.
you know, it would force them to make Wild competitive again. You know, and that's the problem with
Dude,
Wild,
that
right?
would be so cool.
Is that when they took away the Wild Open, it sort of disincentivized the format. De-incentivized, is that the word? Anyways, so yeah, I'm gonna say bold prediction, not gonna happen.
Like I said,
Hottest
less
take.
than 1%
Circling it.
chance here, okay?
Circling
But
that.
just saying, they could do it one day, right?
Okay.
Possibly.
All right.
Okay, well, let's move on. We had a tweet from Dean Ayala, who was just asking a simple question about people who play the World of Warcraft. If you could pick something from the World of Warcraft, what would you want to see in an expansion? Because they said that they're coming up with ideas and they're looking to see like what the majority of us would actually like to see. You guys got anything that you would like to see?
I've really played like zero WoW, so like I don't really know. I'm curious to hear Goliath's answer or anyone.
I mean, I saw a
that
million
plays
people
WoW.
say Pandaria, but then I
Yeah.
also know a million people that hate Pandaria, so I don't know if they're just trolling or.
Yeah, I came from playing Magic, so I don't have an answer. Smudge, do you have an answer on a World of Warcraft place?
It would have originally been Dark Moon Fair, but I
Well, there
think
we go.
that's covered now. Yeah, no, I mean, I kind of, I don't know why, but when I play World of Warcraft, I tend to play a monk role, which is kind of Pandaria related. So, yeah, I probably would say that just because there's not very many pandas in Hearthstone, and there should be more.
Pandas are good. Everybody likes
Pandas
pandas,
are good.
right?
Yeah.
Imix says Neptulon and Atlantida, if that exists in WoW. Goliath says
Neptulon.
Pandaria, and the primordial creators of Drenner. That'd be interesting.
The only thing I would like to see is one of my favorite things was the whole Frozen Throne thing. I love the Lich King, all that stuff. So I would like to see an expansion. I know it'll happen one day, but based on the new WoW expansion, like a Shadowlands thing, would be really, really cool. Like see a new Sylvanas card and all that kind of stuff because of what's going on in the WoW world with that is what I would like to see.
I want to see a Frozen Throne too.
Yeah, Frozen Throne 2, basically. Yeah,
Let's go. We
Frozen
got
Throne 2 / Shadowlands. Everything goes crazy.
Did anyone get to visit the ice cream truck they had going around at the time when Frozen Throne came out?
No.
what?
You didn't get free ice cream?
No, that was so cool. I saw that, but no.
Wait, from where?
The ice cream citadel. They had an ice cream truck going around.
Yeah.
Giving out free ice cream if you
From
turned
the
up.
Lich King.
Hearthstone ice cream.
What?
And it was
That's
really
awesome.
good. And they also had a competition that if you posted a picture of you with the ice cream, you could win stuff. And I won a Hearthstone towel, a Hearthstone bag, a Hearthstone t-shirt.
Damn.
Nice.
I guess I
Yo.
should have gone out of my way.
More stuff.
I do remember
all the
when
stuff.
around that same time though is when they were doing all those Lich King videos where he was like an intern at the Blizzard offices, right? And he was
Yes.
Ben Brode had to
That
fire
was
him.
it.
Like those were so funny.
He got fired and he opened an ice cream shop.
That's
Yeah.
right.
It was great.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wish they had more like real life events because it was really cool and they had all these cosplayers and it was just seeing Hearthstone in real life was amazing and I got to meet so many really cool people. Like I got to meet some of the UK players and casters there as well.
Oh, that's cool.
That is cool.
It was really cool. Very, very cool.
I'm
I
anxious
just
for
wish they
this.
had more of them.
Yeah, I'm anxious for this pandemic to end and we can start doing fireside gatherings again and stuff.
Yeah, I never got to do one. I want to do one.
We just found out
Yeah,
this
they're great.
this past week, the place that we were going to in Portland, just like officially shut down.
I saw that. It's like an arcade bar kind of thing, right?
Exactly. It's like a video game bar slash
That place
restaurant.
looks so cool.
It's
Because the state I
yeah.
live in has nothing anywhere close to that. The state I live in is like 70 years in the past. It's so slow and dusty here. Like when you put that picture up, I was like, "What? Like that's crazy."
Yeah.
Sorry you guys lost that.
Oh well. We'll go to Guy Grumpy's house now, I guess. And, but
Yeah.
I don't know,
Okay.
we'll figure something out. All right, let's move on, I guess.
Let's move on. The next thing we have is we got good news and we got bad news.
Bad news first.
Okay, Boar Control has quit playing competitive Hearthstone.
It's all right. He played standard anyways. That's fine.
That's the good news, is it?
Oh, what a setup! I love Smudge.
Wow.
Hey, I'm one of his founder subs. I'm allowed to be.
That's funny.
Okay.
Oh my
The
God.
good news is he has joined the Blizzard team as an associate game designer, as being on the final design team for Hearthstone.
Yo, that is hype.
So
pretty sick.
shout out to Boar
shout out to Boar
Control,
Control.
because, like, talk about dreams come true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
I'm
I
jealous.
just become rivals.
You know what's
Now he's on
interesting? So
That's awesome.
Ben Brode's
Sorry.
company, Second Dinner, just posted a new job position for a project manager type position, and like I looked at it and I'm looking comparing my resume to all of the things that all of the requirements, and I was like, yes, yes, yes. And then I'm thinking realistically, no, that is not a good idea. That is really not a good idea. But but maybe. So.
Submit it for fun. Just don't think about it.
you could always turn down the job.
Oh man, that'd be a hard one. It'd have to pay really well. That's the problem.
What if you got a
We don't
video
know their
call
budget,
from Ben
right?
Brode? But what if Ben Brode video called you and said, "Hey Nate, you're hired."
Well, is Ben still working on Hearthstone?
No, it's for his new company called Second Dinner, but it's
Oh,
with a
right.
bunch of the old Hearthstone people. It's him and Yang Wu and a couple other people. Oh man, working with Ben Brode would be so rad.
Be laughing every day. It'd be awesome. You'd
So
always be in a good mood.
That's true.
Your cheeks would hurt. So many smiles.
Also, you could eat his special grilled cheese for lunch.
You know, the funny thing is, okay,
The
get
face
this.
Smudge made. Look at her face.
It's so funny though, right? You guys seen his grilled cheese video, right?
Yeah.
So the Blizzard, the Hearthstone office is in downtown Irvine, California, where I grew up. My parents live 5 to 10 minutes away from those offices. And so every time they post the pictures of the campus or the surrounding areas, I know right where they're at because they're in my parents' backyard. And so, I know right where Second Dinner is. And when they did the music video for the grilled cheese, it's in the freaking Albertsons right by my parents' house. I've been in that supermarket. And so
That's
I
amazing.
have no idea what a music video for grilled cheese.
Yeah, by Ben
Oh,
Brode.
she hasn't seen it.
I have
Oh.
no idea what
Yo,
you're
somebody
talking
in chat.
about.
Somebody in chat. Get that one.
Oh, that might have to be this week's song.
Maybe we just play that song. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
It's really funny. He made a rap video about how he makes grilled cheese sandwiches, and it's so funny. We'll link you up. It's pretty great actually. So yeah, I miss his Hearthstone raps too. And honestly, I think that he's a big reason why we do these parody songs. But
Respect Ben Brode.
yeah.
They were really great.
All right. Well, let's move on. We've got a couple of nerfs. And
Yeah, we do.
Nerfs.
Mage got hit, hey?
big shout out to Imic also, who did the artwork for these. I really appreciate it. It makes our job a lot easier.
Sorry, guys. Nate,
Yo, yeah.
I got to say my praise. Sorry to cut you off, but when it hit me, I gotta say it. When you get that soundboard, since there's so many nerfs all the time, you have to get a sound clip of Craig when he sung that song, all the nerfs.
Yes.
So when we do this segment, you can play Craig's singing voice because there's
the
nerfs
nerfs.
every freaking 6 weeks. Like, I love this game. Let's go.
Good
Yes.
idea.
Yeah.
All right,
I
well,
prefer
let's
these
talk
ones to the last lot.
Sorry, Smudge?
I said I prefer these nerfs to the last lot.
Oh, you do.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about them. Mage got hit. All right, so we got 2 of them. Evocation, which a lot of people do not like. Used to cost 1 mana, now it costs 2. How do we feel? Do we think this is actually gonna be a big deal?
I don't think it's a big deal.
I think it's playable.
Here's where number one, I think it's a standard nerf, but number two, I think this is where it hits. It's not necessarily that evocation now costs 2. It's that you can't get it from Wand Maker and you can't get it from the dragon. Whatever it's called. You know what I'm talking about? The one that gives you 2 1-mana spells.
Oh, yeah. So it's not
Cobalt
going to
spell
be
Yeah.
randomly created by.
Yes.
It's not going to be created by.
That's
Magic
the
trick.
yeah. Mike said it.
Access point.
Cobalt Spellkin. So I think that's where this gets hit. Like, you'll still play it in Quest Mage for sure, but your chance of it being created by one of these other cards is now greatly reduced. Because like, I mean, frankly, if I'm playing Quest Mage, which I suck at, but like, if I'm playing it, I'm not gonna play it until I've got either I've got 1 to 2 Sorcerer's Apprentices and a whole bunch of mana, because whatever drops from this card, like, I want to play it, as much of it as I can. And so like, I wouldn't play it unless I've got plenty of mana anyways. So I don't think necessarily the mana cost change affects it that much. It's just that it's less discoverable now. Frankly, I'm kind of surprised they didn't touch Sorcerer's Apprentice, but I'm wondering if, maybe she'll get Hall of Famed at some point, or not that affects us, but
I feel like they could have touched Sorcerer's Apprentice like a long time ago, avoiding it.
All they have to say is can't reduce below 1. That's it. But
yeah, I was gonna say, aren't people talking about a classic and basic set, like huge kind of revamp?
yes.
Like, if they're probably deliberately not touching classic cards because they're kind of gonna do them all at the same time.
I agree. No, that makes sense.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, so if you guys would still play this, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I opened one of these golden.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's like
Ooh.
so precious. I was like, oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
It's a total BS card, but it's still fun.
Like, it
So,
obviously, if you play it early, you're reduced what you can do on that turn by 1 mana, but I don't know if that's big enough of a deal to not run this. So,
But this takes away when I'm backed into a corner, I got Apprentice on the board, and I play Evocation, and I'm looking for Ray of Frost, and I'm looking for these little missiles, and they're free. So now this is going to cost 1. And hopefully, you roll into those spells, but there's been times before where I've rolled into like 6 of those 8-cost secret spells, 8-cost mage spells that pull secrets from your deck, and it's crap.
Yep.
Glacial Bull. Yeah, that card is such garbage. Such garbage.
Yeah.
But-
No, I feel you there. Yep. All right. Well, we got one more nerf.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Here we go.
So it's the Solarian Prime. So it's not the first incarnation of the Astromancer Solarian. It is the Solarian Prime, which costs 7 mana, is now going to cost 2 more. It's going to cost 9 mana now to play.
That feels excessive to me. I mean, 8 would seem just fine. And again, this is probably a standard thing.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that it feels bad to lose to, but like, I don't know. 9 feels like overkill. Like they could have bumped it up 1 and it would have been enough to, in my mind. I don't know. What do y'all think?
The only reason I think it went up is it's half a Yogg box, right?
Yeah. Well, the difference with this is it's half a Yogg box, but it says here that the 5 random mage spells target enemies if possible, which Yogg box doesn't say. So it's a better Yogg box, right?
So it's half a better Yogg box, which I think I can see why it goes.
That sounds like a pretty good episode name for this week's show. Just saying, half a better Yogg box. That's not
half
bad.
a better Yogg box.
But it is one that you have to have played another card and then drawn again to get. So,
Correct.
but it's putting in perspective for me, like quite how aggressive a player I am, because I've genuinely never seen anyone play this card against me, and I've seen a lot of people play the first half of it, and I think I just kill them all before they get to turn 7. I've just never seen it. I genuinely can't remember ever seeing anyone play this against me. So from my perspective, it doesn't bother me at all.
See, that's an 11-star perspective right there.
Kingsbane, 11-star.
11-star
Dang
perspective.
straight.
You know what? By the time your opponent has 9 mana, they're already dead, right? Right?
Yeah, exactly. You don't.
Smudge it in the next game.
If I've been thinking about cutting my little Tecton beneath the grounds out, because you just kill your opponent on turn 5 every game, then they're never going to Reno anyway.
That's awesome.
Oh, I like it.
Yes.
All right. Very good.
Yeah, that's it for the news.
There was an article. Sorry, go for it, Mike. Yeah, what were we gonna say?
Real quick, because I know we have some hardcore Wild listeners, and they want to hear this point because I heard it earlier. For Wild, for like the Reno Luna deck, it won't matter that much because if you play it right, you play a pocket, and then all the minions cost 1. Someone had mentioned it earlier, so I was like, I'll give you a shout out on the show. They were in Slizzle's stream, you know what I'm saying? So
I like it. No, it's a good point. It's a good point.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter anyway.
But speaking of Wild,
against, Queensbane, you're not going to see it. So go ahead.
But speaking of Wild perspective, though, right? There was an article earlier this week in PC Gamer about Hearthstone's meta being healthy, and specifically they quoted the recent buff to Witch Willow, and talking about how this card's really strong in a vacuum, but there's no good big demon cards. And I was like, bro, in Wild they're really amazing. And so it just kind of reiterated to me in frustration that they really, at least I feel that they don't really focus or think about Wild all that much. I mean, I think that they keep it in the back of their mind to make sure that they're not going to break the format, but for the most part, it's like, yeah, when they buffed Willow, it made Q block way better. And I will fight to the death on that one. I crafted it in gold and I do not regret it at all.
And then I pulled it in gold, so I couldn't believe that.
Nate, defend Warlock cards? Nah.
No.
I'm not sure I even have it.
If you play Warlock, I'm a big Warlock player, and it's quite good in Q block. In fact, I've seen some people running it in Reno Lock lately, and it's not bad. So, but I was a little irked at oh yeah, we buffed this card because nobody was playing it, and honestly, there's still no support for it. So we don't really think anyone's gonna play it anyways. Man, it's really good in Wild. So. Ben says it's meh, and I disagree with Ben because Ben doesn't like N'Zoth either.
Yo. Oh
And
my
I just
God.
finally crafted my golden N'Zoth, so
I hope they print another N'Zoth.
I believe.
Yeah.
More 10 drops. That's what we need.
I
I mean, you can print as many 10 drops as you want because I'm never going to see them in play. So
Yeah. Oh, shots. Never seen a 9-drop in my life.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. We did have in wild news over the past week, we saw 3 different meta reports drop. And so it's good. It's good to see those. I enjoy them. So we've got a bunch of friends who write these. So Slizzle and EK and Duin and everybody over at Rotted Zombie and everybody at Tempo Storm. There's a brand new Tempo Storm Wild Meta Snapshot that just came out. No surprise, they've got Reno Priest as number 1. And we'll link all these in the show notes if you guys want to check them out. They're on our Discord as well. But Tempo Storm Wild Snapshot. There is also one from Reno Jackson's group, Team Wildside. There's a new meta snapshot from them. Some friends of ours, and then also the previously known as Alpha Cord, now called White Wolf Tavern. There is a meta snapshot. They put 180 decks in it. So
180.
It feels a
are
little.
there 180 in the game?
180.
Whoa, wait.
It feels a little
Are
excessive.
they ranked? Like all of them?
No, I think they're variations. It's like, hey, here's Q block and here's 10 different versions of it.
Because I wanted to know the difference between like the 127th deck and 112th. Like, what's the?
We usually go through tier S and then tier 1 through 4, right?
Yeah.
I want to know what tier 77 is.
This is expensive. A lot of work went into this.
Yeah, dude, it's Murloc Priest. Okay.
Oh, what?
The 7% win rate category.
I'm joking. No, they put in legitimately. They put in a lot of work. If
there's 180 decks, they legitimately put in a lot.
Okay, serious question. Is there an odd beast priest featuring Glitter Moth?
I tried making Odd Priest with Glittermoth so hard. I also tried making Beast Priest. I tried making everything, and they're all awful. So they're probably on the list. My favorite one that I made was my self-sabotage deck, which is you played that. It's like Enter Ungor. You know the warrior one that turns your whole deck to 1 drops. You discover.
Oh, yeah.
And Geist and loads of draw.
Oh, that Explorer Ungoro one?
Yeah. And so I was playing this on like Legend Ladder in Standard back in the day, and I kept queuing into all these streamers, and they were like, "What is going on?"
Explore Ungoro.
There were so many clips of just people going, "What is this player doing?" Destroying their deck and then fatiguing and playing.
That was
just
tier
kept going, well
162.
played in them. So I think that's got to be the bottom one, right? The Geist and Explore and Goro combo deck. I called it the Seppuku deck. Is that how you pronounce it?
Oh god, that's funny. Yes.
Seppuku.
Yeah, it was good. Would recommend. If you're just having one of those days where you can't win a game no matter how hard you try and there's no point, just deliberately throw it using that deck. It's just brilliant.
I did play that for a little bit, maybe like 10 games. It was fun.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Do you guys now? This is interesting, right? We've got these meta snapshots. Duin posted something earlier today saying that it's a small sample size, only 17 games, but 47% of the matchups were Priest. Do you guys? I mean, it certainly felt like that on my Legend climb. Is that like that for you guys as well?
I haven't seen any priests over like the last 3 days in EU, which is a shame because I am teched for priests. So, I mean, if priests want to come back, that'd be great.
I'm at 17% priest this month right now. Not
I
47.
I don't track any of my games. I mainly play on my phone.
Oh wow, really? You don't use the tracker? That's
You have
interesting.
11x playing on your phone? Well,
Yeah,
now you're even better than I thought.
I know that you guys. I think last week you mentioned a bit like playing on your phone seems to play better, but my theory is that not having my deck tracker on makes me play better because I'm. Is that my stat? No,
No, these are mine. No, these are mine. No, I was looking at.
It's my exact win rate.
It's
But
no, I know mine's the
when
same.
I'll use a deck tracker when I've just started a new deck and I've never played it before. And as soon as I get familiar enough with the list that I kind of have a gist of what's in there, I tend to turn my deck tracker off and play on my phone so that I am forced to really focus on the game, because I think that having the deck tracker on means I don't need to pay as much attention. I don't need to be as focused in the game because, it will tell me what they've kept in hand. It will tell me what they've played, so I don't need to pay as much attention, and I'm not as focused, and I don't play as well. So what I tend to play on my phone, so I'm forced to focus if I want to win.
Gotcha.
That's an
why
interesting take.
Yeah, I like that.
It is really interesting, and I think I was talking about this with someone the other day that like more often than not when I play, I've got something on the other screen. So I've got Hearthstone up and then I've got Netflix or something on the other screen and I'm watching something and my attention is diverted. And I think like if I would just turn that off and focus on actually playing, like I would do so much better. So, I mean, there's definitely something to be said for it. And I think we start relying on the deck tracker a little bit. Like I don't have to think as hard. Like I don't need to remember what's left in my deck because I can look over and see it. And so I start relying on it a little bit to the point where like I only play casual on my phone because I don't have those particular skills honed. So I don't know. I mean, I think there's something to be said for, being able to count cards or know what's in your deck without a tracker for sure.
Especially like because I used to do tournaments a few years ago, and
you can't use them. Yeah.
Well, I found my tournament notebook the other day with like, when playing against Reno Priest, mulligan for this, and if they have this, if they're on coin, do this, and if they're not on coin. I had so many notes, and then I had all these notes against this matchup, and I'd write down every card that they played, and I'd manually tick it off. And yeah, I just kind of do it in my brain now, but because it's not serious. But it's definitely something that just makes you think about what you're doing a lot more.
It's a good point. It's one
11-star multiplier.
No, it's solid advice, and I think Blue Train in chat is saying also that there is one thing that you can do is turn the overlay off, but use the deck tracker anyways because it keeps all your stats. If that's something that you're interested in.
Sometimes it's quite depressing.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. I made the mistake last night of looking at my looking at my lifetime win rate, and it was at like 52%, 53%. So it was like, okay, well, I guess I'm winning more than I'm losing, but it's a little depressing. Like,
no, I would call that a win because don't you feel like the first year or two, like 30% win rate?
That's probably true. I wonder.
Right?
You can break it down. You can break it down by month. You can break it down by by deck. It's really interesting when you kind of can do a deep dive into the statistics.
Hey, real quick, I'm kind of like Smudge. I had friends get me into this game. They kind of bailed, but at first, I out of the three of us, like I was getting to rank 15 and they couldn't, and I was beating my chest, hold my head a little bit higher, taking deeper breaths of air, thinking I'm the man. But it took me forever to get to rank 10 and then join Hydra at Dad Legend. But like, I like the stats. Like one day I went 10 and 22, so looking at it does feel bad. But then the next day I went like 32-9. So I was just like, yeah, all right, cool.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't
To
know.
the point of what Smudge was saying about not using deck tracker and remembering things and, discussing those, internally, I was thinking once again about Blister Guy and Walk to Work. If you notice when you listen to his show, he will always say, "Oh, I see what cards they kept in their hand, right? They threw away these cards, so that one on the left is probably this." And then they'll draw stuff, and he'll like keep watching what they're doing in their hand and everything, and he'll be like, "Okay, they played one of these so far," and he's playing on his phone. He's crossing traffic. He's petting dogs. He's saying hello to neighbors, and he's remembering all this crap, and then he's still winning, right? And then here I am looking at my deck tracker, trying to figure out what secret they have. So I don't know.
I will
guess
say
there's
that the
something to be
secret
said.
tracker, the secret tracker is the best bit for me. It's when they've got more than one up. If it's one secret, fine. If they're on about 3, and I'm trying to remember what I've tested for, and when they played their next secret, that's when it gets really hard.
Yeah.
That's when I think the secret tracker. But yeah, generally I'd say it's useful. It's like when you go skiing. I don't know if you've done that, and then you take off your poles, and then you learn that actually you were just leaning on your poles the whole time. You don't know how to ski. That's that's how I feel when I come off deck tracker. Because as I say, if I'm starting a new deck and I've never played it before, I'll always start on deck tracker until I get comfortable with it, and then it's like taking the training wheels off and going blind. How many of this card did I have? 3? I don't know. Oh yeah, I used to play a lot of Jade Druid as well, and I'm like, okay, so I've shuffled idols
Oh, that's a tricky
how
one.
many times? And then I'm like, yeah, I've definitely got idols in there, and then I draw my last card, it's not Jade Idol, and I'm like, crap. Oh no. Yeah. So that's my tip anyway.
Yeah. Before we move on to our decks of the week, do you guys have any other hot takes on these meta reports? Do you guys look at them? Do you read them? Do you rely on them at all?
I usually look at the Tempo Storm one. To be honest, that's the one I look at the most. Those are our buddies there, and I usually like to take a look at that. And I don't necessarily always follow what they pick, but it's a trusted source for me.
I look at the Team Wildside one. I think I'm like a $30 a month Patreon supporter, so I suppose that's the one that I'm most invested in. Recently, in the last one, they said that Dark Lair was in Tier 1, which would be nice because it was such an easy farm for Kingsbane. It was like a race to see who could kill the Warlock first. Will the Warlock kill themselves? Will I kill them? Who knows? It was great. And then they'd like try and put down a taunt, and I just sap it back. It was so much fun. There was one point when pre-nerf, when I'd won 22 games in a row, and 19 out of them were Dark Lair Warlock, and I was just really grateful for all of the people playing.
It was such a good matchup for Kingsbane.
Oh, yeah, man. It was really good. I literally I win streaked all the way from like rank 160 to rank 13, which took loads of games actually. But yeah, it was really good. I was having a great time. I thought I was unstoppable, and then it got nerfed. And I thought secret passage nerf. Oh, it's a little bit annoying, but it's not going to be too bad. But the kicker was just all of my good matchups disappearing and all of these horrible druids and paladins turning up instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I have not seen one from Vicious Syndicate lately for Wild. Last time I went to look at one, the page was just gone, and I got like a 404 error.
Yeah.
So I think that one is probably just gone away. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think for me personally, I'm kind of in the same boat as like Blue Train here is saying in the chat that like they're very interesting, and I think that they can help form decision making. At the same time, like, you need to play what you enjoy playing or what you want to play. But it's nice seeing where they stand. And I remember it was interesting. This is a couple months ago, but I remember consistently me and Mike talking about how like, hey, I keep hitting Legend with like tier 2 and tier 3 decks. Like, is it really tier 2 or tier 3 when I'm like doing really well with it? But it depends how you define like what is the tier. Like, if they're just talking about how refined it is, then like, okay. But I don't like, and I will say I agree that Reno Priest is really good. I just really don't enjoy playing it, unfortunately.
They could say a certain deck is tier 2, but if that's your main and you've put in hundreds and hundreds of games with this tier 2 deck, for you it's a tier 1 deck.
Yeah.
Right?
I got Legend with Kingsbane when it was in tier 4. Like, I mean, I think part of what they take into consideration is popularity of the decks. If nobody's playing it, regardless of how well it's doing, it's not going to be a high tier. So it's a mixed bag. It's kind of an indication of, you know, how popular it is as well as how good it is, basically. It doesn't mean that the lower tier ones are worse. They're just not very popular.
Yeah. Well, and I think I agree with y'all. I mean, I think there's something to be said about, you know, if you're really good with a deck, like your skill with a deck gets you farther than its like tier placement, right? And I still think that, you know, unfortunately, Wild is a lot smaller than standard. I think there is a small number of like influencers or content creators, and when we start posting like, oh, this deck is so good, or I hit Legend with this deck, then other people start playing it. And so we're playing like existing lists versus creating new lists. And I truly feel that there are still some hidden gems out there that nobody has stumbled upon yet. Blue Train and I spent the first half of this week playing Secret OTK Paladin, and like, it's probably like tier 3, tier 4, but it was so fun because like the opponents were just so confused. Like, what are you playing? And then you either smork them down, or you know, when they line cracker, you can still win. It was really fun. You know, is it good? I don't want to go that far, but it was super fun. So, yeah, we had some pretty nutty Galvadons. So, so I don't know. It's I'm not really sure what the point of all of this is. I mean, I think that they're very valuable, and I appreciate the hard work that goes into these. But I sort of agree, and Ben from work is saying here, like, mastering the deck is more important than its placement on the tier list, and I agree with that.
Yeah, for sure.
They're also a great way to basically just have a real idea of the list your opponent is likely to be running, so you know what you're going to be facing.
That's a really good point as well. And I think typically, I mean, when you play a lot, right, I feel like any of us here, right, your opponent plays 1 to 2 turn by turn 1, turn 2, you probably know what deck they're playing, right? I mean, there's some where you maybe don't. Some of the strange warrior decks, like, you may not know, or there's a couple, but like more often than not, like, you know what it's going to be, right?
I get really confused as well, sorry, with some of these new heroes. That mage one, is it a mage one? I keep thinking it's a shaman.
There's the new mage one, yeah.
I see it, I'm like, shame. And I play it, and I'm like, oh no, what is this? I'm totally mulligan wrong for this. And I occasionally look at Arthas, and I think he's a priest. The new heroes, there's something about the color palettes. I gloss over them, and I'm especially on my phone, where the cards come up, the mulligan comes up over your opponent, what your opponent is.
Oh, then it's hard to see too. Yeah.
You can kind of see what it is in the background. You can obviously kind of minimize the cards, but the amount of times I'm just like, not facing the opponent I thought I was here. That's fine.
Whoops. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, I mean, you guys have any final thoughts or questions before we move on into these decks of the week?
Not myself. No. Let's do it.
Nope. All right. I mean, for those folks who are interested in the tier list that we're talking about, if you have not heard what these are, I mean, essentially it's just a list of like the quote unquote like best decks in Hearthstone and their ranking order and different play styles and copies of the deck list. So, like, we'll post them links to them in the show notes. We'll post the actual links as well in the Discord. So yeah, check those out. Anyways, so decks of the week. I'm really excited to talk some Kingsbane, and we've got two different versions here. I had my normal like Kingsbane in gold, and then I got these lists, and I was missing a couple cards, and I crafted everything in gold except the counterfeit coin. I have not done that because I'm 400 dust short. But like, I crafted Beneath the Grounds.
So guilty.
You should. I'm joking. I'm joking.
It's full of techie nonsense that I just play because, well, I'm of the opinion that there's enough drawing Kingsbane now that you can be a bit more loose about what cards you include.
I mean, it's interesting, right? I think the core is the same. I'm happy that you're running SAP in here because I've been comparing Kingsbane lists over the past 2 weeks. I got like eight or nine different lists. And only a couple people are running SAP, but like I've seen so much Warlock and so much Big Shaman
exactly.
that like SAP feels awesome. I love they play like a giant taunt and put like 3 different death rattles on it. Bye. Bye. Just go back to your hand and get out of here.
I feel like, so the non-canon one I put in double SAP because it's a bit more focused about just a big weapon and you want to be able to hit their face every turn. The canon one I put in 1 Doomerang and 1 SAP, so it's kind of got a slightly different playstyle. You know, if I'm seeing lots of minion heavy things like Odd Paladin, I'm more likely to play cannons.
Mm-hmm.
And so Doomerang tends to be more useful because you can take out their 3/3s and you can take out their 2/4s and you can take out their kind of smaller stuff that you don't really need SAP for.
That makes sense. So what is the play style of Kingsbane? Like, this is one of these decks that I always question whether or not I'm playing it right. So rather than make any assumption, like what is your I don't know, like if you were to teach us how to play this, or what is the game plan here?
Well, I find it really depends on kind of, I feel your play style with your cannons is so much more different to your play style without cannons. And currently I definitely prefer the non-cannon list. A lot of people are going by cannons. Ironically, when Kingsbane got really popular with that Kohai list with the Edwin and things, I made a list with cannons in it and said, if anyone's missing cannons, here, this one's great. And then now everyone's playing cannons, I want to play without them again. So I think I just go against the grain. But generally, with cannons, you tend to want to keep cannons against anything that you think is going to be aggressive. And then you have the awful decision of, if you've got, I'm not running it in this one, but if you're running the 2/2s,
Mm-hmm.
and you've got the option of getting, say you put down your South Sea deckhand and you're going to draw 2 2/2s on turn 1, or you've got a cannon in hand and you can wait and get them all on turn 3, but then by then you've kind of let 2 turns go, and you've got to make all these decisions, and it's hard to know whether you've made the right call, and it's hard to know whether you've ever made the right call because you don't know what your opponent's hand looks like. You might just risk putting down a cannon without putting down pirates in the hope that it sticks. You might decide to wait and then the opponent gets bored, and then say if it's an aggro druid, you're like, yeah, I've got all these cannons, I'm going to take them out, and then suddenly all the +1/+1 buffs come down, they've all got 3 health, you're stuck.
Mhm.
I never have
Or
the heart to just cannon. I always have to wait. You're right. That is a hard decision because I'm always like, oh, this is a good tempo turn just to put this cannon down. However, if I wait, so much better. And I always wait.
Recently, I've been playing the non-canon version a lot more, and then if I come up against Druid or Paladin, I try and get as much board presence as I can as early as possible, and then at a certain point I make the change to I'm just going to hit them in the face and I'm going to play as though they don't have any buffs. Something I really like doing, which a lot of really bad odd paladins do, is they fill their board with 1/1s, and then they have no room to put down a quartermaster, and as long as you don't play any minions and you just keep smacking in the face with Kingsbane every turn, they're stuck with a board of 1/1s. And you can often just beat them because they've accidentally capped themselves at 7 attack every turn. If you've got a Kingsbane on 11 attack, who's going to win? You. So it is certainly possible. I mean, I put in the Blade Flurry for basically your Druid and your Pally and even your Shaman, your big Shaman. If your Kingsbane gets big enough, you can take out a few of those if they manage to get a nasty looking board. I don't like Blade Flurry. I did say that in chat. I wish it cost even 1 less mana. It feels so clunky, but at the moment, whenever I take it out, I always find myself missing it. I've got a lot of one-offs in these decks, and it's because, as I said earlier, I think there is enough draw with Secret Passage and Cutting Glass that
So the
you
blade
have options of getting things.
Yeah.
I usually keep a Secret Passage if it comes up in the mulligan. That's something that a lot of people don't do.
Interesting. Okay.
Because, especially in the non-canon version with the counterfeit coin as well, there's a good chance that you can just play it on turn 2 or 3 and get a prep into deadly poison or whatever. And often, especially later games, I might play it on low mana just to sin my deck. So I'll play Secret Passage, just chuck out all of my cards. I might play prep for nothing, just so that I've got higher chances of drawing my bigger cards later on. Because after a certain turn, you don't actually need your cheap cards anymore. You can just toss your Buccaneer and you can toss your Deckhands or whatever, because Buccaneer is not going to be the card that gives you lethal. You're trying to kill them as fast as possible.
How often has Blade Fury felt like a dead card? And if so, like, what would you rather it be?
Yeah, well, that's the question. I mean, I said I've made a list of all the cards I've tried.
Oh yes, I want to hear what is on this infamous list of cards that have tried and not made the cut.
So all the cards that aren't in here. Oh, I'm also going to include. I've tried taking out Patches as well, because is he that needed? Debatable. So that's not a card I included, but that's a card I removed. And yeah, you could cut him if you want to cheap out and you don't want to dust Patches. He's all right. You can just take him out. It's fine. So I tried Backstab. Backstab's pretty good, especially if you're facing a lot of aggro. It's really great for those Zilliaxes. Obviously, it works as a combo activator. I mean, it's fine. It's cheap.
Mm-hmm.
You can run it, especially if you're trying to look for a budget deck. It's a basic card, so pretty good. Sinister Strike. Yeah, I had Sinister Strike in that Blade Flurry slot for a while just to give that extra secret bonus lethal. Again, it's just cheap. It was better when Secret Passage drew 5 cards because, I mean, you could just throw it away, couldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
But it's just kind of useless if you draw it early on, but then a lot of them are. Swashbuckler, because it's pirate and it gives you some extra cards, but it's so inconsistent and it's just a 1/1. Cold Blood just sucks as a 2-drop, doesn't it? But whatever. Had to try it. Did try the Volpera Toxin Blade. It's fine. You could put it in. It's fine. Falderai Strider and Stowaway. That classic combo. I tried to kind of make a version of it that would work now, seeing as things I thought things were starting to slow up a bit, and then they got aggro again, and they also don't work at all with Secret Passage. All the spiders in your deck. So
Yeah.
it might be worth cutting Passage and cutting Raiding Party and just putting those two in if you wanted them, putting Myra's back in if you really wanted, but
Yeah, no, I mean,
these are ones that I've crafted in gold, by the way, because my decks are all in gold, so expensive. Steel Dancer, I crafted double one of that. It's just rubbish. It's too inconsistent. You need to have a big Kingsbane, and then even then, you're probably going to get a 1/1 from it, just because fate. Dr. Krastenov, I really liked Dr. Krastenov.
I tried
Might put it back
Krastenov as well. I like the rush. It felt inconsistent to me. I don't know. The rush seemed okay. That's an interesting. What did you think about it?
Yeah, I liked him, but I thought Leroy was better.
Yeah.
And again, there's so much draw in this deck. You don't need to worry so much about having that extra one durability or multiple durability. Well, realistically, you're probably only going to get one from it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, again, he's an expensive card. In both dust turns and in mana turns for this deck, he would be the highest cost card in the deck.
Mm-hmm.
So, is it really worth running a 5-mana card that can't do face damage?
Mm-mm.
I like your face says it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, the intro animation is good. He may well find a place in my deck again. I do have him in gold, so yeah. Myra's, again, I do like Myra's, but at the moment, what happens is you Myra's, and then your deck is 2 Secret Passages, a Raiding Party, a Shiny Finder, and a Cutting Class, and you've just killed yourself, so... Because all of your decks just fatigue, all your draws just
Yeah.
fatigue. You've got no playable cards, so it's. But I do miss Myra's. But also, there were so many sticky fingers. If you Myra's and the only card left in your deck was your Kingsbane every turn, it's basically guaranteed that someone would take it off you.
Oh.
Or with Elucia, whatever her name is, Mind Render.
Elucia?
Yeah. I had double Glacial Shard in there for a while when Dark Lair was popular.
I remember that. Yeah.
I really liked it. It was good against the Kingsbane Mirror as well. It's just a really annoying card. Just freeze them. It was good against Odd Rogue as well. Just freeze the big ones and keep hitting them, and it's cheap. Yeah. It's just at the moment, it's kind of, it's when it's just a horde of 1/1s that you're facing, or a Void Lord, it's not really going to do much. Voracious Reader, I just don't think it's necessary. Swamp Ooze, yeah. Weapon tech, especially when there were loads of other Kingsbane abouts. Eat Your Secrets, yeah, it's not really worth it. Horde Pillager doesn't work on Kingsbane. And I complained to Blizzard about this.
How does the interaction work?
Wait, what?
Horde Pillager it gives you back a weapon that's been destroyed, and
But it'll give you the 1/3 instead?
Well, I thought, a 1/3 is better than nothing. You could have a few Kingsbanes bouncing around.
So then you just get multiple?
But it doesn't work. It doesn't. If your Kingsbane's been destroyed, it doesn't bring you back anything. And I asked Blizzard why this was, and they said, "Oh, because it gets cycled back into your deck." But it's a death rattle. Death rattle means it was destroyed. It does not mean it was recycled. So I think that I'm right and Blizzard's wrong. But
yeah,
who can make
this call?
Right? Yeah.
Gotta put it in a rap song. Here we go. Back to the lab.
Classic 4 and 5 drops, Naga Corsair or Captain Greenskin. You could put them in if you wanted. Again, that Blade Flurry slot that everyone hates. Swap it in.
What did you think about Goblin? Did you use the Auto Barber?
Oh.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of a rubbish. I tried making a Reno Kingsbane deck, and I had it in there. And then I realised I'd put Faldorei Strider in it, and
Whoops.
So, so that's my it's. I mean,
I mean, the core is pretty solid. What did Blade Flurry used to? It used to hit face, right? And it doesn't anymore.
Yeah.
But
That's
it
right.
was 2 mana and it used to deal damage to the face as well. It was brutal. I mean, I don't necessarily think it should be unnerfed back to what it was, but it's definitely a bit expensive.
If they
Why
ever
not?
put
Roz
it-
is unnerved.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It'd be.
Yo, don't be nice.
What I never
I mean,
understood.
I'd be all for it. I'd go all rogue like every day.
Yeah.
What I never understood is when they really nerfed. I felt like they nerfed it into the ground. Like Blade Flurry got nerfed way back when people were playing. They were calling it Oil Rogue, right?
Oil rogue, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
In Standard, and I was really irritated because I feel like that deck had such a high skill cap that not very many people were playing it, and the people who were playing it, most of them were not playing it correctly. And so the people who are playing it correctly, like, they deserve the win because it's not easy to play. And like, so what, are you punishing the people who are, you know, the best players with the deck and everyone else it doesn't affect because they sucked with it? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, I feel like it's a little OP in Kingsbane at 2 mana when it could hit face, but like, it would be interesting.
Yeah, back in the day, they used to really nerf things into the ground, didn't they?
Well, they made them unplayable as the
Useless.
so. So what is the game plan with this deck? Like, I mean, I struggle with some of these micro decisions. Do I drop Buccaneer on 1 to pull patches even if I don't have Kingsbane? Like,
Yep.
that's what. Okay. I mean, I assume the answer is yes, right? That's what Blue Train has told me that many times as well. And
I generally keep 1. It also depends on whether you're on coin or not. It's a huge difference. Being on coin, you can keep so many more things that you wouldn't normally. That extra card is huge.
Mhm.
You know, often I'll keep a prep just in case. If I haven't got a raiding party, because without prep raiding party, you've got to wait until turn 4 pretty much if you're going first. So it tends to be worth just keeping it because otherwise you're going to be stuck if you haven't drawn Kingsbane or Sticky Finger or something.
What about if you have the option between, like, you have and you have Kingsbane? Do you just keep the Shiny Finder and toss the Kingsbane?
It depends on what else I've got and what turn I'm going to be on. So say I had Buccaneer and Kingsbane and I was going to be on coin. Like, that's an incredible turn 1. You wouldn't want to wait for a Shiny Finder. Often I'll keep both because, you know, the amount of times I'll often keep 1 spare draw. Again, I probably wouldn't keep both if I was going first, but I would if I was going second. If I had something... Yeah, I mean, the thing is if you just keep Shiny Finder and you're going first, you're not going to be able to play Kingsbane until at least turn 3, right?
Mhm.
Unless you
Yeah.
your coin. It tends to be better to keep Kingsbane, I think. But yeah, I mean, keep both if you can, often. Especially if you've got something like Passage, because then you tend to be able to passage into your pirates and your weapon buffs.
Mhm.
I tend to keep a Deadly Poison. I tend to... If I've got no weapon draws in hand, I'll keep a Deckhand over a Buccaneer. But I tend to...
You keep Deadly
1.
Poison.
Yeah.
Huh.
Like,
Learn
most
something.
decks, either they're playing some minion early on that you want to kill, or you just want to get your weapon as big as possible as early as possible. Because, I mean, if you get 2 extra mana, extra damage early on, that's 2 extra damage that you're doing basically every turn for the rest of the game.
Mhm.
But again,
Okay.
I mean, people are right. It's really dynamic, and the problem with aggro decks is that you've got so many cheap cards. It's actually really hard to make the calls. Often, I will just take the view that this is what fate has given me, so why not? I don't. Sometimes I'll mulligan really hard. If I've got so if I didn't have Kingsbane, Secret Passage, Shiny Finder, or Raiding Party, I'd probably chuck the whole hand. I might keep one drop pirate. If I had any one of the others, though, I tend to mulligan a lot softer, and I'll keep a lot more of what I'm given. Yeah, pretty much anything with a 1 or a 2 in front of it is something I like to keep. Obviously, if you know you're going to be facing a priest, you keep Beneath the Grounds, because it's not worth waiting. It's just a game winner. It's great.
Yeah.
The worst comes to worst, they draw their 2 4/4s before you get the benefit of them not being able to play things. But in that case, you've already got value from mana if they're drawing all your 4/4s that early on. So
right.
8 stats for 3 mana.
Well, and a 4/4 against a priest is generally pretty good. I mean, they've got to try harder to kill it. I know they still can. A lot easier now than they could back in the day, but still.
And
I've got. I'm sorry, Smudge. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, even against other decks like Warlocks and stuff, like the amount of times that they tap, you just get spiders all the time. It's great.
Yeah.
I love spiders. Yeah. What were you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna ask a question about Leroy. So when Kingsbane aggro pirate Kingsbane became a thing after Leeching Poison was nerfed, it always boggled my mind that nobody ran Leroy Jenkins in the deck. Like, it was not there. And the answer I always got was, well, by turn 5, they should already be dead. But for me, that didn't make any sense because
you're running things like Captain Greenskin.
Yeah, so like
The 5-drop, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and yes, I crafted Captain Greenskin for the deck, but like it didn't make too much sense to me. So, what are your on Leroy?
I like Leroy. I think I think that the amount of times he's just been exact lethal for me just means that I wouldn't want to cut him. I really miss him when I'm not playing him. I know that one of my decks doesn't have him in. It's just nice to have that option, and even, it's something as well that if they dirty rat it out, then you just immediately kill their dirty rat with it. So, saved you a taunt there. You can use it. It's because it's quite flexible. You can use it to clear taunts. You can use it to hit people in the face. I like him. I wish he didn't summon those whelps, but apart from that,
I guess it's a bit of a matter of preference, right? Because you always want it to be the end game. Sometimes you end up having to get through it or something like that.
just yeah.
But yeah, it just seemed odd to me. And I know people in general didn't used to run it. It just seemed strange to me. It's like, hey, let's make this deck that we're going to build the biggest weapon and put all these things that go face, but we're not going to put Leroy in it.
Yeah, I don't think he's super necessary, and the reason I don't run him in the cannon deck is because the whole point of it is to go a little bit wider. It's got a slightly different focus, but the one where I'm kind of going non-cannon, I'm limiting my board presence. I'm trying to make things a bit taller. I'm trying to make my weapon a bit bigger, and just
Okay.
When I was talking about holding back and letting them fill up a board with 1/1s, you often kind of you don't put minions on the board even when you can, just so that you can save it up for a big finish. And also with Leroy, a lot of people don't expect you to be running it, and so they're sitting there. Do I Reno this turn? Do I Reno that turn? Well, I don't think they're going to have it until, and then I'm sat there on Leroy prep Abyss, and
Yeah, that's true.
and I can get them down a lot harder and faster than they expect. I mean, I've got a lot of there's a lot of cards that you can put in Kingsbane, and it will work as long as you keep, your basic weapon buffs and your Kingsbane. You can pretty much fill it with whatever you want.
Yeah, play it the way that you like it, right?
That's true. I mean, there's the core, right? I mean, if you break these down, you've got your Kingsbane, your potions or poisons, Buccaneers, preps, shiny finders. Your low level pirates, and the top end. I and all your card draw, but there's a handful, probably 5 or 6 cards worth of tech cards. Or flex cards, if you will. And someone was saying in chat, like, what about have you tried Edwin in place of Blade Flurry? Like, man, you probably could. There's so many low cost cards, but
I have I wrote the Cleef and Miscreant on my 2 Kohai. He's a big fan of both of them, but Edwin he follows a different path to the rest of the deck. Playing a bunch of cards to make a big 3/3 is not as good as playing a bunch of cards to make a big knife. There's a lot of ways that Edwin can be killed. Or blocked by a tiny, all a paladin has to do is play that 1/1 taunt with Divine Shield, and then Edwin is just doing nothing. I just think that he is not awful, but building up an Edwin is kind of different to everything else that the deck is trying to achieve. One of the things, another one of the things that I like about the non-canon deck is the fact, and I had a go at somebody when I first saw Kohai's list. They showed it to me, and poor shooting the messenger. I said, "What's the point of even running raiding party if we're only running 6 pirates, basically? Why bother?" Well, as it turns out, it basically guarantees that you get a good pirate every time.
Yeah.
You know that you're either going to get Buccaneer, Deckhand, or Dread Corsair, which generally you can all play for pretty cheap. Often Dread Corsair is a 0 cost or a 1 cost.
Right.
I find raiding party actually works much better for me with less pirates, and usually by the time it's late game, you don't want pirates anyway. You'd rather just get your Kingsbane back.
I agree. I mean, there's some what I hear you saying is consistency with your pirate draw, but also, I mean, and I don't fancy myself a good deck builder, but typically what I ask myself is, like, mid game to late game, if I top deck this card, am I going to be happy to see it? Am I going to be upset? And if I top deck, this is turn 5, turn 6, and I top deck Bloodsail Flybooter, like, I'm not happy to see that. Like, I don't want that. I would much rather have pretty much anything else.
That's why I've only got 1 in my canon deck. I mean, my canon deck has actually only got 1 more pirate than my non-canon deck. I did have the 2/2s in there for a while, and I think in the mirror they're really important. But so many times I'm just stuck there with a 2/2.
Yeah.
And no other pirates, and playing a 2-mana 2/2 just feels really bad. And I'd just rather have other things. It really became apparent when I got used to not having them in there. When I raiding partied and got a Bloodsail Flybooter and a 2/2, it just wasn't as good as getting my deckhands and getting lethal guaranteed, or getting.
This is funny. I was doing co-op games last night with Wildcard, and he's playing his kind of homebrew Big Demon Hunter deck, and we were going up against a Kingsbane rogue. He's got 15 health left, and he's like, should I do this or this? And I was like, oh, they don't have lethal.
But they did.
As it turns out, a Kingsbane, a rather large Kingsbane with a Southsea, like top deck Southsea deckhand into Tinker Sharpsword Oil, does quite a bit of damage out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yes. So,
which is another kind of shout out for Leroy, because just having the ability to add that 3 damage onto a charge minion.
Mhm.
The reach is nice, I will say.
Yeah. I would say that I don't like Blade Flurry in the deck, but I've put it in there anyway.
Yeah, I've never ran it in there. It's interesting though.
It does look really nice in gold, I will say. I made it earlier today, and I thought about it long and hard before I hit that button, and it looks gorgeous. At least there's that. If you pulled Blade Flurry, what would you sub for it?
Well, that's the hard question. I swap it out all the time depending on what I'm facing.
That was
I'd
that
be-
whole pad of paper, Nate.
I know,
Yeah.
I know. I'd be tempted to put in a second Beneath the Grounds, honestly. I don't know. I mean,
Oh no. I would never put in second Beneath the Ground.
oh,
ever.
I'm glad to hear you say that. Okay. Well,
I
at
would
least that's
only-
one.
Beneath the Grounds would be your number one vote.
Beneath the Grounds. Why would you ever need more than one? Why? If you see a priest, you're going to mulligan for it, and then you're going to deliberately secret passage, and you'll probably pass on other cards just to get it, right? You know, if I am against a priest and I secret passage, it's way more important to just block all of their decent cards than it is to play some little minions or dead poison or whatever. You can have it again later. You just either you play it, and it's great, or you don't play it and you just focus on killing them as fast as possible, and it's probably all right anyway.
Yeah.
As I said as well, that I've not been facing many priests or other Reno decks lately. I just feel like often Beneath the Grounds versus non-Reno decks is just, dead weight anyway. I would never want to run 2. Ever. I don't understand people who run 2. No,
I appreciate that. I feel schooled. I like that though. That's good. That's good input.
I'd be more likely to put in, something like Volpira Toxin Blade or another pirate, probably, or Shard. I quite like Shard. It's useful. They play an 8/8. You freeze their 8/8. You just hit them in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cheap. It's annoying. It's not that bad.
It's definitely annoying.
That one slot is my least favorite slot in the deck. I would like to just cut it, but at the moment I run my Blade Flurry because when it's good, it's a lifesaver. And so as Rogue has rubbish board clear apart from that.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is like it. What's Rock Blade? Somebody suggested Rock Blade.
Yeah, I saw that Ben from work. Or brain freeze.
All the paladins and all of the druids are running health buff things, and whenever I've tried running fan, it doesn't work out very well. You could put it in there, but I tend to find it doesn't have as good an effect as I hope for. And yeah, Blade Flurry is 1 more mana, and usually you can use it to take out bigger minions later in game as well, so it's slightly more flexible, I think.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, okay.
But you can put whatever you want in there. Put a what's he called? My mum's favourite card, Goldra Footman. Pop it in there.
That's your mom's favorite card.
I played a stream with her once, and she went, "Oh, who's this? He's very handsome." And every time I've played since, she goes, "Are you playing my favourite card?" Yes, absolutely. I'm running Goldra Footman in every deck, Mum.
Oh my god, I love it.
So yeah, why not? I used to run this ridiculous Resurrect Priest with Nosdormu in it. Like, this was before it became a proper thing. You know, when that 5 mana 3/4 that summoned a 1/1 or something, or revived one. Yeah.
Oh yes, the priest.
Yeah.
The yes, I don't remember what it was called anymore because it was.
It looked like a chess piece, I think.
Yes, yeah. Bishop, Onyx Bishop, or something like that. I don't know.
I used to play Nosdormu in it, not because it's any good, but just because it would really annoy. Barnes out Nosdormu and then keep resurrecting it, and your opponent would just get more and more stressed out. I'd be stressed out. I'd miss plays. Everything would go wrong. It was great. That's one of my favorite cards. I've got it in gold.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I love that. That reminds me, though, when we played a few weeks back, we had Mirak on the show, and he plays with an eye tracker instead of a mouse. And he was saying, like, it's hard, like legitimately really hard to play the game that way. And he was saying as well, his favorite card was Nosdormu. It's like, wow, it's so stressful.
Yeah, I thought that was hilarious. Good for him, really. To pick the hardest card to play with the way you play the game, but that is still your favorite card.
Eye tracker. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
He doesn't have the use of his arms or legs, right? So he plays the game using his eyes. So he moves everything around and places everything using his eyes.
The technology is absolutely incredible. He's an inspiring guy.
Yeah,
wow.
he lets nothing hold him back. That's pretty inspiring, man. Love that guy.
I struggle enough.
Shout out to Mirak.
The mouse.
Yeah,
He's struggling up with the mouse. You said.
I think we've all fireballed ourselves in the face.
that's why I go around.
Oh yeah.
When I fireball, I don't go straight up. I go like around to the top. I do it every time, around everything to the top.
It's when you're about to have lethal and you accidentally hit the wrong thing just as your opponent concedes and they watch you miss lethal.
Oh.
That's the best thing. Or when it happens to you. Well, that's not the best thing, but it's when you go, oh no, but they've already conceded.
Yes.
Good times. Well, I mean, I think we're sort of at the tail end of this. Is there anything about either of these decks that is, that you feel like you want to add, or that you would say is not like you wouldn't know it by just looking at the list? Like, is there some like hidden interaction or synergy that is not like readily apparent? Or like combos that you like would you, I don't know. I found myself always like, God, I love playing prep into raiding party on turn 1. Like, I love that. That's great.
Yeah.
But no, I mean,
when prep was 3 discount.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, that is no more.
I think probably the most different way that I play is probably quite how recklessly I secret passage, because it's not guaranteed what you get.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely don't wait until late game when I need 4 cards. I tend to do it early just to get things as soon as possible so I don't get to late game.
That's a good idea.
If it doesn't work out, it was 1 mana. It's not the end of the world. So,
well, if anything, it's less risky than playing tracking.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Because you don't lose a cause, but then, I often use it just to thin out my deck. I'll secret passage and just toss all of the little stuff out there so that I get better stuff next time.
Yeah, no, I like that. That's proactive.
Yeah. No, I like that too. It makes sense. I don't know. There are so many like micro decisions to make when you're playing this that it's really I don't know. I think sometimes you see people play this deck and it looks easy, but when I play this, oh my God, there's so many like little decisions to make that drastically influence the game. So
because it's combo based and it's quite aggressive, you often have a lot of choices to make. I think
Trips would like that. He always said that Rogue was a combo deck.
It is, yeah.
That's an inside joke.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's right. Yeah, the joke, I missed it.
Yeah. No, he always called it a combo deck because has combo cards, but in reality, it's not like a Malagos combo deck. Anyways, Trips, if you're listening, I hope you got my joke because nobody else did.
I think I've got a surprising number of lethals as well by either doomeranging or weaponing over my Kingsbane just to draw it again, just to get that one extra damage of a Buccaneer.
Okay.
Like, always look out for that. If you've got Buccaneer on board, you're one damage off, and you've got the ability to dagger up and then draw your weapon back. Ta-da! I think a lot of people miss that.
Interesting.
And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
Also, I managed to miss lethal earlier today, I think, because I doomeranged after I cannoned, and it hit the minion. It was a 50-50, and I was like, if I just doomeranged first, I would have got guaranteed lethal. So just look out for ordering, especially if there's chances of random damage, like with cannon.
Yeah.
Because, I could have still got lethal, but I didn't, and then they won, and then I was very salty.
The Salt Queen. Oh, man. Okay. All right. Well, I think, I like both of these lists. I'm really looking forward to playing them. I think the more we talk about it, the more, like, I've been playing the Canon package, like, over and over and over the last 2 months or so, and I'm really interested in the non-canon version now. The more I look at it, like, I really want to play it. So
it makes your decisions much easier. Honestly, the amount of times I'd have to really, really think about what order I wanted to play in because I had a load of good one drops and a cannon.
Mm-hmm.
Do I wait? Do I play it now? Do I just toss my cannon out and hope? Especially if you've got 2 cannons. Oh, what do? You can't wait until turn 5 to play them both. Oh.
Right.
But then,
I assume that you, the cannon is much better into the aggro matchup, right? Your like odd shaman, your odd, or your even shaman, your odd paladins, or your token decks, or that sort of thing.
Yeah, sort of. But then also, it's not even a guarantee. I mean, they're always going to be bad matchups. This is my attitude. They're still going to be bad matchups. You're still going to have to get pretty lucky with your cannon shots and your draws to get it. And these days, the paladins have that secret that gives everything 3 health, basically. And cannons don't like 3 health. And then aggro druid, again, they have real ways of buffing all their stuff up. And aggro druid's also got that horrible pirate that takes off one of the durability of your weapon. It's just a horrible matchup either way.
True.
So I think I said to somebody the other day, I'm not going to dilute the pool. If it's really that bad, the meta, then I'll just stop playing the deck and I'll play something else. Which is a big statement for me to make because it's pretty much the only deck I play. But I think at a certain point, you just have to accept that if you face an odd paladin, you're probably going to lose. It's like going into the film, You just go in with no expectations of what happened.
Yeah.
So,
there you go.
Especially my canon list. My canon list is only a very light touch list because it's only got 1 blood cell flybooter in it and none of the 2 drops. So it's a half. It's a very non-committal canon list anyway. So it doesn't make a huge difference.
Gotcha.
Depends what you like. Lots of people like cannons at the moment. You will probably win in the mirror with the cannon versus the non-cannon. If you're facing a lot of other Kingsbanes.
Yeah. Okay. Do you guys have any other questions before we sort of start wrapping things up, or any other points that you want to make or add?
I have a question. What would you say to somebody who is close to getting their 1K rogue portrait to motivate them to push that much further?
Oh, well, I can't exactly say that the 1K rogue portrait is brilliant. Don't do it for the looks. Do it for the intimidation factor that we were talking about earlier. You know,
Okay,
you go into it and people will be scared. They will
got it.
misplay at the sight of your glowing golden piratey Valera.
Love it. Love it.
But yeah, just Rogue is I think Rogue is the most interesting and the hardest class to play perfectly in Hearthstone because of the combos.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely one of the harder ones. I think most people can agree it's at least in the top 3, and I think it's the hardest. So if you're good at Rogue, you'll probably be good at all the other ones.
I agree, because last September, I have a picture of it. I had 148 rogue wins. So it took me like a year and a month to get up to 800. So I definitely can agree with that. It's a fun class, though.
Yeah. It's very fun. I will say I agree with you. I think that Rogue, in my mind, is one of the harder classes to learn how to play. There's a lot more decisions that need to be made. Having the combo cards makes it more difficult to play. It's very rewarding, though. I think when you do it right, like it feels good to win with. So
yeah,
all right.
That's what I like.
Yeah, that was my question. Thank you for answering that.
Okay. The people who this podcast, right? We do a video version, we do an audio version. The facial expressions that Smudge is making this entire show have been so funny. You guys, I love it.
Have you been screenshotting them all?
No, but we're recording this video.
Like that one?
I did make a whole little set that I was going to make into emotes, but I only did the first 3. Actually.
Oh, I'm so thoroughly entertained. Yes, if you guys are listening to this, please watch it. Watch it on YouTube.
I'm sad, Smudge disgust, and Smudge joy. I love it. Those are great. I want those.
It's my happy face.
Love it.
Oh yeah, we need to get those in the Discord. I think
Yeah.
I'll have to.
That Smudge disgust. Oh yeah, I could use that once a day.
I've been
Good
told I have
times.
an expressive face. It's very malleable.
Very malleable.
That's amazing.
How do
Anyway.
I?
Oh man.
Glad everyone likes my face.
How do you transition
Myself?
from malleable face? Is that your question, Nate?
Malaga?
No. I'm trying to figure out how to screenshot these. I got them.
I'm trying to see how malleable my face is now.
All right. Hey, yeah. Do you guys, Hydra? Do you have any final questions or thoughts, shout outs, ideas, anything?
No, I just really would like to thank Smudge for being here and talking all the different options and ways you can play a deck, and really pointing out that you don't need to necessarily play the top version of something. You can swap in this, swap in that, and kind of play it the way that you like it, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, I agree, and I think I've had a lot of questions about this deck. It's hard to play, and I think it's rewarding to play, but it's definitely challenging. So to hear your thoughts on it from, I don't know, arguably probably the one of the best Kingsbane players in the world, I really appreciate. That's right, and I think also I really appreciate you coming in on at 2 a.m. So what is it now? Like almost 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah. Ooh.
Wow. The sun coming up or shortly. I think Mike, you're probably having flashbacks from our card review show.
Oh man.
we
I
did.
think I can say it's definitely Saturday morning.
Yes. So yeah, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for teaching us. Really appreciate that. Where can people find you if they're looking to, follow you online or see the content that you're making?
I basically just have a Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have a full-time job and I work ridiculous hours, so I don't do much posting. I don't really do much streaming. I do have a Twitch. I stream maybe like twice a year. Um, but you can follow me on Twitch if you want. It's Smudgy. That's it. And then SmudgeHS on Twitter if you want.
Nice. Very cool. Well, yeah, thank you again for coming on. Really appreciate it. Hey, Hydra, where can people find you if they're looking for you?
You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Hydralisk_HS, and you can always every single Friday, Born to Be Wild podcast.
Very cool. Mike, what about you?
Yeah. You guys can catch me here every Friday night. Born to Be Wild podcast. Shout out to Smudge for joining us. This is pretty fun. Real quick, if you're into streaming, I used to do mobile streaming. So if that's a thing, you said you play mobile, we could talk into the Discord, figure that out. But you guys can also catch me on Twitch at Michael TV. I'll be streaming some Wild Hearthstone, hanging out with people like Doin, Mamnark, Slizzle comes through, Concerned Mom, Goku comes through, all the big names. So catch me there.
Very cool. As for me, I'm most active on Twitter. It's at NateWolfTCG, NateWolfETCG. More importantly, you can find the show and everything related at borntobewildhs.com. Again, borntobewildhs.com. Do not forget the HS or you will be in for an interesting surprise. If you go to our website, you can find links to all of our content. We've got all of the parody songs. We've got all of the YouTube. We've got all of our deck lists. We've got links to the folks that we've had as guests on the show, so you can find their stuff. We've got a whole merch store with some really cool things in it, and a big shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Wildcard who are running that merch store for us. We really appreciate that. If for those folks who are interested at all in supporting the show, we do have a Patreon. We really don't have much on it at the moment, but we'll get around to it one of these days. That's linked up on our website. Or if you are interested in supporting the show in a non-financial way, you can always leave us a review on iTunes or leave us a review on Warcraft Radio or any of the other podcast websites or apps. I'm sure there's more that I'm probably forgetting. We are just shy of 500 subscribers on YouTube, so if you're not subscribed, that would be awesome if you want to do us a favor. I think that's about it, although there's sort of a tradition that we have as part of this show where...
And now, Unrelated.
Oh, breaking news.
Wait, sorry, Mike, hold up one
Can I
second.
drop something?
With Nate
This is pretty
Wolf.
cool.
All right, we got breaking news? Yeah, okay. All right, what's your breaking news?
So it pertains to our podcast, not the game. So everyone's heart rate can come down a little bit.
Got excited for a second there.
Yeah, gotcha. We just had a patron do an upgrade. Adam W went from $3 to $10.
Holy cow.
Shout out Adam. Appreciate that upgrade. It just came through the Born to Wild email.
Oh, that's super nice. Thank you.
Adam W.
Gotta give our patrons props, keeping us on. Appreciate that, guys.
I appreciate it. No, it really helps. And I will say, we're doing this for the love of the game and the love of the community. We're not doing it for money, but it helps because there are expenses from time to time, and we really do appreciate it. Yeah, that's super nice. Yeah, thank you very much. I will say, so for my unrelated advice question, is kind of a long-standing tradition on this show to ask some completely unrelated advice, and so this is coming from our Discord channels. I believe it was Goliath who had the question: how do you manage to simultaneously, work full time while play Hearthstone while do all of your other projects? I think that personally is an interesting question. Usually we answer a lot more philosophical questions like, do you eat mac and cheese with a fork or a spoon? But
Thanks,
tonight,
Danny Donuts.
yes, tonight we were talking about multitasking. Hydra, I'm gonna hit you up first. What do you think?
How I do it, it's things have changed over the years for me. I used to focus on Hearthstone a lot more than I do now. I still play it daily. So I found that if you do family, like if so Goliath, I don't believe you have a wife or a child, so it may be a little easier for you. But having a family and having a child, the best thing that I try to do is I do daily quests, kind of like on my lunch break with on my phone, and then I usually wait into the evening to play the game. But definitely, if you do have like a wife and a child, never neglect them for your game, ever. Just gonna say that. But if you do have a supporting wife like I do, who purchased me this green screen here, and yeah, she did, and she also. I already know what she got me for our anniversary next week. I got a gaming chair coming in the mail. Don't tell her I told you I know.
Okay. Talk to me.
Then go with the flow then, but don't abuse it. That's my answer.
Interesting. Mike, what about you?
Hopefully she doesn't listen to the show and hear what I just said. Okay. Sorry. I'm done.
Oh, breaking news! Just got a new Patreon. Hydra's wife. It says, I heard everything he said, and he's dead when he gets off the show. Damn, that's tough. That's tough right there. So for me, I represent co-parent position, but since quarantine hit, to be safe, because at my kid's mother's house, her parents are there, so we kind of cut down the travel between houses. So there's more time than it was back in like April. So for my time management, it's like I started ending up where Nate's at, playing a whole bunch of games and getting burnt out. So then I realized over the course of a month, I'm going to play a bunch of games. So I just try to space it out and like make it where I play like Monday through Friday because I'm trying to get on stream and stuff. But like Saturday and Sunday, I might not get to the 100 gold a day goal. And I might play like 10 games, maybe 15 on my phone over the weekend. But during the week, I'm playing like I'm easily getting to that 100 gold a day tier. So I guess ramping up during the week, and then during the weekends, I know I'm gonna do other stuff and just chill and not even think about Hearthstone because it's just a game. Not to break the hearts of all of our super competitive people, but like I don't let it take over my head 24/7 like it used to 5 years ago.
You guys have such great answers. Like, my answer is don't sleep. That's it. That's all you have to do. Simple.
Mine is,
All right. Yeah, Smudge, what about you?
Hey, did anybody notice I put on my hat like Hydralisk? I just wanted to copy Hydralisk.
Oh, do you fold up the brim?
Yeah, I just copied you.
Yeah, well, because the other way I could do it is earlier today, I kind of just had it, up like this, right?
Oh, that's what I need. I need this hat for that. This hat does that effect.
Yeah, you could prop
Go ahead,
it up.
Smudge. Sorry, go ahead, Smudge. We're goofballs.
Oh, I was gonna say, honestly, like, since I got a full-time job, before that I used to pretty much exclusively play Control and be really snotty about it, and now I play aggro because it's all I've got time for.
Hey, that's smart.
5-minute break at work, aggro deck, perfect. It's so much more time efficient, and also having 11-star bonus is really, really helpful because I did have 10 when it first came out, and I had to work for that 11 stars, and the difference is enormous. Getting day 1 legend, it's just
Cheating.
so much easier.
Earned
I mean,
cheating. Earned
on
cheating.
10 star, I did get day 2 legend, which isn't too bad. But I mean,
Damn.
it's Yeah, I mean, if you genuinely don't have much time, honestly, play aggro decks if you want to get good ranks. That's my top tip. And then apart from that, I tend to I'll just play once every 3 days, clear the quests, and then let them build up again. So I'm not playing it all the time. And then I'm
Yeah.
kind of the opposite of Mike. I tend to not really have any time during the week, but play a lot more over the weekends.
Okay.
And I think it helps dating somebody who also plays lots of games. Not Hearthstone, Call of Duty, but
Oh, you play more on weekends.
so it's
Cool.
not
So I
like
can avoid you. I won't queue into you. That's cool. That's cool.
it just means that my partner is very understanding of the fact that I want to play games because they also want to play games, and we just sometimes
Hey,
play games in the
that's a
same room and
win-win.
occasionally wave at each other.
You cool with this? I'm
Very
cool with
useful.
this. All right, cool.
Yeah, did you want to
That's
hang
awesome.
out? No, not really.
I
No.
I
love
can
it.
see you. That's enough interaction for me.
Oh God, it's perfect.
That's cool. That's an awesome answer. I like that one.
All right, wiser words were never spoken, and you heard that on Born to Be Wild.